I am live, so y'all gonna have to bear with me on this one because I'm in a hotel, and sometimes in the hotel, the internet ain't fast enough. So we gonna see. We'll see how I rock out. Let some of y'all join up. I had to join up. I was like, I'm traveling. I'm gonna let everybody else handle it. But it seemed like people getting out of hand, man. They're getting out of hand. They talking like we lost or something, man. It's getting ridiculous. Let's see who jump in here though. I need to order me a pizza and stuff. They hungry. Ah, yeah. Damn, ain't nobody joining me. I guess I'm gonna be talking about myself. There we go. We got somebody in here. One. Woo. Now we talking. Oh, there they go. I knew Eastside Hero was coming, man. I knew he's coming. I never seen losers be so happy about losing, man. Never seen it. But come on over. Big Cam, what's up, bro? Loving Aries always showing love. What's up? Jamal, Cheap R1. I am here, he says. Yeah. It's like 14 of y'all in here. All right. Yeah, man, I jumped on because I'm on Twitter. I'm like trying to enjoy this little trip and shit. But I'm on Twitter everywhere I go. You know, I'm listening, I'm reading, and people rumbling and fighting, and we signed Ty Hilton and all this. Like we losing or something. Like we won the game. Now, when you looked at, and don't nobody believe me when I say it, but when you look at what Vegas is doing, like when we're a heavy favorite and people actually are betting on us, my man Law Nation in the building. I'm in a hotel, Law. So don't be. I don't know if the stream gonna hold, but we gonna try it. Let's add him to it. Let's cut this off a bit.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, hold up.
What's
I
up?
gotta turn my fucking computer up.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, man. What's good?
Man, I'm good, man. They talking like we lost out here, bro.
Man, we won, man. We
Right,
shot the BB gun and everything,
right.
bro.
They
I
talking
told y'all gonna jump on the next time I catch you.
like what I'm jumping on.
No, I told you I gonna jump on your show,
Oh, I
man.
thought you said I know what y'all. I thought you said I know what y'all gonna jump on next time I catch you. I thought I missed something. I'm about to
Oh,
say,
nah,
yeah,
fam.
man.
Nah, man.
Appreciate you, man. I'm in Sacramento chilling, and I'm like waiting for my folks to come pick me up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna jump on and go live real quick because I'm
What up?
arguing back and forth with everybody on Twitter about us winning in like a gutsy, ugly fashion. I think that you got to show that you can do that, and I feel like that last drive was that, and it's an art form with playing with Vegas,
Right,
making sure you cover, right? Make
right.
sure Vegas ain't mad at you anyway, but still being able to win at the end of games. Like Peyton Manning used to make his bread and butter off of doing that, man. Nobody believe me. They think I'm talking conspiracy theory when I say that, but that's real
Man,
shit, man. You got to
man,
make sure Vegas ain't against your ass.
man. Hello, man. And then 18 comebacks under Dak Prescott career. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. Now, can we get better with Dak Prescott decision makers and things like that? Yeah, you can't have these type of games in the
Nah,
playoffs. So we got a lot of ironing to do on this wrinkled shirt.
it seemed like it's pinpointed though. Like if
Mhm.
you look at it, that when we get in trouble is when we're pressing and trying to play up tempo at the end of the second quarter every time.
Right,
When we
right,
come out with our designed scripted plays in the beginning, we don't really make those mistakes. Every time in the end of the half, we make mistakes. Every time it's because we pressing. And it's like
yeah,
we trying to be aggressive going up, before the half, trying to, what I mean, put our foot on their necks. But I think that that if we are a little more conservative going into the second quarter, going into the end of the second quarter, I think
right.
we'll alleviate that because he ain't making the mistakes in the second half that often. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But let's look at guys like Josh Allen. He throwing interceptions in the red zone like crazy these days. You know what I mean? So it's happening to the best of them. So I'm not jumping off the Dak ship because he making some mistakes. I just wanted to see how he bounced back from it. And to be honest with you, after that Vikings game, I kind of been off his ass. I'm like, he showed me that that
Oh,
monkey is
okay.
kind of off his back. You know what I mean? He showed me that he can rise to the occasion when needed. So I ain't on his ass right now, man.
Man,
Well,
so
I,
shoot,
you know,
what
I
else we
ain't
gotta do then?
about it.
What we gotta do, man? We 10-3. We got 4 more games down the stretch, man. We got musical chairs. I heard that they're gonna rotate. News just reported from Calvin Watkins that they're gonna rotate Josh Ball and Jason Peters at their right tackle, man.
I don't like that. I'd rather he just put Peters over there and just let him rock.
Just let them
Sadiq,
rock.
Sadiqa throwing up the super chat for. She said, "Shout out to Law." She said, "AKOYE and Law, two of my best channels, brothers."
Man,
Fact,
hello.
fact.
Shout out to Sadiq
Yeah, you know.
for the support.
She be
We love you,
everywhere,
Sadiq.
man. But
Yes,
yeah, like
indeed.
I don't like it. I like Peters. Just let Peters rock unless it's something to do with like his endurance or whatever. Terrence Steele, man, moment of silence for him too, man, because
Yeah.
he was balling this season. I was mad to see him go down. A lot of guys are going down right now, but we rising to the occasion. So I ain't mad at it, man. I ain't mad at it. What's your thoughts on Ty Hilton? I just watched a little quick video on the boy.
Man,
What's your
I'm
thoughts
talking
on that?
about jab step to create separation. In my opinion, no shade, no salt at any of our wide receivers, but now we got us a true slot guy. Whereas I can literally say that TY
Yeah,
and Cole Beasley, they like 1-2, one of my favorite slot guys. And
yeah,
it seems as if though, if TY can just come in and he don't need no alibi, y'all, he
yeah,
gonna pull the ball out of the sky. And he's a sure hands catcher. He can still get separations at the age of 32. I went back and watched all of his film. He had 8 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. I'm
right.
looking at it that he can find a soft spot in the zone. He's a nuanced route runner. You will like his separation. He may have fresh legs when everybody else don't. We will
That's
only worry about soft tissue issues like your pulls,
your
hammies, and
hamstring.
things
Yeah,
like that. But if he's been running, just like you remember back in the days, and I hate to bring him up, but I just got to, right? Jerry Rice, he
yeah.
played until he had
He's
no
like
braids
he's
in his
damn near
head.
40.
He had the Stephen A. hairline with the braids to the back. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I thought he was done after Oakland. Then he went to Seattle, and he
he
was
went to
slow as hell.
Seattle.
Yeah, he went to
Yeah,
Seattle still. He was slow as hell, but was still getting it done. Tim Brown was old too. Matter of fact, they both
man.
had a whole old ass wide receiver core, man.
Or on the flip side, remember Green for the Washington team? He was a DB.
Oh yeah, Daryl Green. Yeah,
Darryl Green.
yeah.
Sometimes old people, man, if they continue
He
to
can
just
run
run,
too. Yeah,
shoot.
Aeneas Williams
Yeah.
from
So you can still be
Cardinals.
old and run.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about Ty. I think Ty is going to do what we wanted Odell to do. I think we would have went after Odell, but he's probably not playing this season. We kind of outed him on that though. That's kind of corny, but we did that. But either way, uh Odell, I wasn't looking for Odell to come in here and be, the number one guy. He didn't need to be. We just
Right.
needed him to. We needed somebody that's a threat, deep threat that can stretch this field. Right now, Michael Gallup is not a deep threat. He's not a guy that's going to stretch the field. They sitting on everything he's doing. I kind of
Right.
get nervous when they throwing the ball, even though he got good hands, he catching it.
Yeah.
His separation not there yet.
Yeah.
Then you not at all. But then you got CD Lamb, who if you're not moving him around, he's not a guy that's like just beating number one top corners by himself. Like you got to move him around and kind of scheme him into position, or he's good at finding spots in the zone. But when you got a guy like T.Y. Hilton, who you could just say, listen, man, you can't just put a bum on him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he can stretch the field. That's going to take some of that pressure off of Gallup because he's not going to draw that number one guy where they could just say, we just going one-on-one Gallup and then bracket CD Lamb, and we ain't worried about Brown. If you throw to Noah Brown, we'll live with that. You know what I mean? If you target him. T.Y.
Man.
Hilton is going to take a number one or number two corner to cover, even if he's not getting the ball. So that's going to mean like Gallup's getting less pressure, and then CD Lamb going to be able to work too. So I think that's why they did it. They wanted somebody that can stretch the field, and that's truly a deep threat, and we didn't have that. And for Dak to be playing the way he's playing without that is saying something too, because his deepest threat, it seemed like the last 2 weeks been Dalton Schultz.
Man. His deepest threat's been that, man. And what they wanted to do is what you just explained. They thought that they was going to get that out of James Washington.
Yeah.
And what happened is when James Washington got the ball hit him between the 8 and 3 and got pow! He was like,
yeah,
hey,
my back.
He was like, no, my foot.
That's my boy too. I broke him down. I was hoping we grabbed him. I broke what's his name? Petrie.
Yeah, Jalen Petrie.
Yeah,
oh,
I
that's
broke
my
him down
dog,
in the
Bailey.
offseason, man. I was like, that dude is a killer. Ain't nothing he can't do on the field. And he proved me right. He like another Dono Wilson, just a guy that's just you can put him anywhere, he gonna kill, man. Even though he's only 200 pounds, he play like he 250 and fast. So yeah, I like it.
That's just what it is, man. Another thing is when you talk about this wide receiver core, I think the world of Noah Brown, right?
Right.
He blocks his ass off. He's a guy, he's gritty, but he got levels of inconsistency as well as with Michael Gallup. So now you can look at Gallup being the third option, and now you can have Noah Brown being the fourth option, so that now that he comes in, he will still give you those splash plays. And CeeDee Lamb, let us start working CeeDee Lamb on those drags, motion him, utilize the full plate of the food that you got on this menu, juxtaposed to just waiting for this guy in the.
Why you talking about that, right?
Talk to me, man.
What's up with our boy Kellen, man? Because again, people say that I'm wrong when it comes to the Vegas thing, right? But why did we go from what we were doing with CeeDee Lamb in the Colts game? CeeDee Lamb didn't sit still the entire Colts game. He was moving around. They had him playing musical chairs, right?
Right.
And then in the Texans game, they just stopped doing all of that. Like, why would that be? Like, that just don't make no sense to me, man. It's like, I'm like, I know you know what to do because I watched you do it masterfully, and I just gave you credit for doing it a week ago. So I know you know what to do because you just did it. So why aren't you doing it now? I don't get it. It just seemed like that just seemed kind of off to me, man. It's like, what's going on here?
Man, when somebody hit me up and said the NFL finna gain sports betting $35 billion, right? And sports legalized gambling. You can legally bet for a team. And I'm not saying that, maybe they say, okay, if you can get Dak Prescott to close to 40 throws, we got you on something, man. Your kids don't have to worry about college for the next 20 years. We got you secure.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna put this past anybody, man. When you got legalization of sports gambling, but I get it for those who don't want to think on those levels. But Koye, come on, man. You and I know.
I already know you know, man. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Because that was crazy. I said, come on, man. I know they can't guard. They not guarding that good. And then the last drive kind of proved it to me because it's like Dak just came out, went off on them, and that was that. But what I did like about that, you remember, like, it used to come down to the wire, like those Patriots versus Colts games where Peyton Manning and Tom Brady would play this chess match that would always come down to the last drive in the last quarter, right? Always,
man.
I hadn't seen Dak has had some comeback drives, but I haven't seen one that crazy in his career where he had to have it and nothing was going right the entire game. So showing that he could do that, I think that just puts one more in the cabinet where you understand, like, you know what I mean? You can trust him at the end of the game.
Man, 98 yards, man. But still, like my favorite one was and this was his rookie year, the Steelers game, but it wasn't even Dak that closed it out. It was Zeke.
That was Zeke, yeah.
It was Zeke. But they're going to give it to the quarterback. But Dak Prescott, that 98 yards, man, that ain't nothing to sneeze at, especially being 7 for 7 on that drive. I think that right now on that drive, Dalton Schultz got his bag. I think that Dalton Schultz with Dak Prescott going to be a situation where as they revisit, he's going to get paid money, y'all, regardless.
He'll get paid now because Ferguson looked like he tore up, right? What's wrong with Ferg?
Man, concussions or something like that. And
then, it's concussion. He might be all right.
Yeah, he might be all right, man. But but they still shied away from their philosophy. 14 personnel, 13 personnel, or even 12 look. We don't see that. Now we see that Tony Pollard, the Cowboys, are going to be forced to be looking back at this thing and say, what do they do with Zeke? What they do with Tony? But if the Cowboys are not foolish, they'll figure out a way to keep Tony. Tony is a remarkable player, man. And that opening drive, the way he handled everything,
Pollard a beast, man. Pollard a beast, and I'm glad we got both him and Zeke here. And I got to say something too, because you was talking about the inconsistency from our Noah Brown. You saw the hit Noah Brown took diving through the air, though, right? You saw that, right?
Right.
He took a hit diving through the air sideways, still caught that, John. Noah beasted yesterday. I thought he was beasting, man. I thought that was
right. So we'll get that splash of Noah, right? Look, it goes all the way back. Whereas Noah coming out of college, people were on the fringe of calling him Baby Dez. You remember that, right? You know where? Look what he did at Ohio State. There was one pass that he pulled out of the heavens. The ball was thrown to Peter's feet. Moses Beard. Noah went up there and said, "It's belonged to me."
Right.
But we would see those flashes of Noah, then he'll disappear. We
Yeah,
would see that catch that he did on the sidelines and say, man, is that 88? Shoot, oh, that's 85,
yeah.
But then we would see that pass that when it touched his hand, he kind of played the tip drill. It must be
All
because
that
it
on that
ain't your face.
interception. Yeah,
It must be a tip drill. Ball
yeah.
tipped up in the air, and then the other
I
guy,
didn't
I
even
don't even
remember
know
that.
who he is.
I forgot he caused that interception. So you was right there. I didn't even remember that. Yeah.
But TY gonna catch that though. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
even
oh
lie.
yeah. Ty gonna be open. That's why Ty gonna be wide the hell open. Ain't nobody gonna be around him, man. Ty nasty. Ty nasty. Like once per game, he gonna skeek out on you, and then after that, you gotta respect. He remind me of Jackson, Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson.
He a guy like that. He not a 13 target type of guy, but he only need 3. You give him 3 good, solid, deep targets, he'll tear the game up for you real quick. He used to do that all the time. I got 2 people in here, but I know they not they don't look like they real. I think somebody over here trying to, you know what I mean? I'm getting good at this now. People trying to show me their feet and all kinds of stuff on here, man.
No, man.
Yeah.
We'll tell them like
this John.
Huh? Like the great Kevin Samuels. Get out of here, slap him up out of here.
That's it. And y'all don't want to get me started on that. They done got him out of here, man. I was like, yo, the way they got him out of here was crazy. I was like, Kevin Samuels went out of here real quiet.
Man, he started speaking too much truth to power, man.
He was speaking truth and he wasn't initiated. They like, well, who brought this ball up in here, man? You can't be speaking like that and you're not controlled in a way where they got something on you. They like, yeah, no, get him out of here. They got him out of here. Man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So what else you got, man, with Coach, man, Mike McCarthy, man? How you feeling about his thoughts tracking this game?
I feel like, McCarthy, I haven't spoke on much because to me, I look at McCarthy as he's not an X's and O's guy. He's a situational guy, and he'll tell you what to do in certain situations. I feel like he's in charge of like our aggression. The fact that we're a lot more aggressive this season on 4th down, 3rd downs, no matter where we are on our side of the field or theirs. I think that's a McCarthy thing. So I like that aspect. And then beyond that, the one thing that I do love is, and I think it came from him because I don't remember it being here before he got here, is the camaraderie on both sides of the ball. So I think McCarthy has done his job.
Right.
He brought in a culture that has these guys playing the way they're playing right now. It's up to the coordinators to get these guys to perform the way they're supposed to perform. And defensively, I love Dan Quinn. I love what he does, but at times he do certain things that kind of blow my mind, man. Like
I got something to ask you on that, dude.
Did you see with Neville Gallimore and Osa just stunted both to the right out the middle of the field on that one play where Pierce got like 24 yards on that dive play. It wasn't because he made a move. He just ran a straight line and there was nobody in the middle of the field because they stunted out of the middle of the field. And that's the second time this season I saw us do that. And we used to do that with Rob Marinelli all the time. I couldn't stand it. But I don't understand why we do it now. Like we understand like the whole premise is create the wall, let your guys come and clean it up. Like I don't understand why we stunt with Nev and Osa, why we did that. Like that was kind of crazy.
It means when you stunt, you show that you can't win your one-on-one, right? Or your guys can't hold
trickery.
Yeah. So you try to create pressure at all costs or penetration. Yeah. And the thing is, if you stunt and they run, it's over.
Yep. But that's making the defense look like. I mean, although he ran 22 times for 78 yards.
Yeah.
And one of those 78-yard runs was a 24-yard run. So we pretty much, if he was 21 for 50 some change, that's a pretty damn good game, run defense wise. So other than that one play, I'm not really mad at the run D. But what was you going to ask me about Quinn before we get too deep into that?
In this system, don't shake me with the butter knife, man. Don't crucify me.
Go ahead.
Is Parsons used as a gadget player?
Yes.
In this system.
When you say gadget player, do you mean gadget.
A specialist. Well, I know gadget can be perceived as a bad word, but is he used like a designated hitter? You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah,
DH, a specialized just pass rush, and is slowing the growth of this kid collectively as a true linebacker because he's considered a hybrid, and that's why as you played on the defensive side of the ball, especially as a linebacker, rally scrape, hook to flat. We're not saying that out of Parsons' game. He's great as a rusher with 4.3 speed, but they utilizing him only as such, and he's good as a linebacker, but we don't get a chance to see his good. We only see his greatness as an edge guy, which teams can now pin on that and say, okay, and can key in on that and say, all right, third down, we know Parsons coming.
Yeah.
Or we can run it on first and second. We know, or we can play keep away when he's on the sideline. We see Parsons pouting like a child because we know he want to be out there, but he's only been considered as a designated hitter, a specialized edge rusher. Go ahead.
The reason
we don't see the full skill set of Parsons.
I
and
agree.
Believe it or not, that's pissing me off, man.
Oh no, I agree with you.
Aspect of it.
I agree with you because I never wanted Parsons to be an edge rusher solely. I don't mind it on third downs. I don't mind it in situations where you need it. I feel like he's more effective, in my opinion, in the middle of the field because he's shown in his first season he can still rush from there. You know, you don't know, and the defense don't know. I mean, offense doesn't know what he's doing when he lines up over center. He's just standing over center. You don't know whether he's coming or going. You don't know what he's doing. So I feel like we have an element of surprise. Number one. Number two, those tackles as a defensive end, you could see when we were watching the Chicago game.
Right.
I was watching how they kept going at his knees. As a straight rusher, they tearing him up, and that's probably why he keeps getting put out the game because they tearing his legs up repeatedly. He taking a beating as a defensive end. Now, if he's a defensive end, fine, he's a defensive end. But I feel like with what we saw Sam Williams come in here and do this season, you can put him right there where you asking Parsons to be on a regular basis and putting Parsons in the middle of the field for the most part. On third downs or on obvious passing situations where we up, do whatever you want to do with him. You know, moving guys, move them around, do whatever you want. But I would personally like to see him in the middle of the field too, because the one place you could say we've struggled, and I'm not going to disrespect LV.
He had a hell of a game, man.
Yeah, he played a good game, so I'm not even going to shit on that. I'm not. But that is where we've struggled. If you can say we had any weaknesses this season, it would be at our CB2 and at linebacker. You know, and when I say CB2, I don't even want to shit on Anthony Brown's season. He just he could have got us some interceptions, and I would have shut up about it. A lot of people would have shut up about him.
Right.
If he would have just got a couple of those interceptions, because the amount of extra targets he was getting, although he wasn't getting torched every play. You know, he would give up one big play a game, and then all of a sudden he playing off and they throwing underneath him all day. That was like the game plan against him. Let's stretch him out by throwing deep against him, and then we're gonna throw underneath him because it's gonna be there for us. Oh, we got Big Cam. Big Cam just threw a super chat too. He said, "Have you guys seen Parsons' facial expressions, whatever he get into a defense and he feels like he should have been playing? It's like he's not playing his style."
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that we wouldn't have any problems versus the run with Parsons and Clark or Parsons and Barr in the middle of the field. This run conversation is already a done deal, and I think we would get more pressure that way. But what's your thoughts on it? Because you said it was pissing you off. Yeah. You ain't mentioned it though. I ain't heard you going off on that all season. You know what I mean?
Well. This is something that recently happened. Like, I get it. Like right now, based upon the levels of skill set that Parsons exhibits, he should be the leading tackler on this team if he was naturally only playing linebacker. We know he got speed, and maybe LVE is saying, "Hey, man, I'm not giving up that Mike role. I've seen a few games. I've seen a few times last game. He allowed Clark to play in the middle of the field, and it worked for us good, you know." Yeah. But and then they threw LVE and LVE played good. He didn't play bad.
Clark out here, LV been trying. Like I watched on that goal line drive, LV actually was being physical, and I'm not talking about just getting to your spot. He was running in and closing off gaps, knocking the fullback out. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not like him. You know what I mean? Dropping his shoulder, still making the tackle. I'm like, oh shit. But and like I said, I'm not a guy that's like, I don't have anything against LV personally. If a good player shows up in his flesh, I'm happy to see it. So I'm not gonna say nothing about him right now. But I do think that we would be better. Period. There's not. We'd be better if Michael Parsons in the middle of the field.
And
And
we would be, oh my goodness, better,
even
and so,
Brillo too.
oh
Brillo need why
yeah,
I don't understand how Clark got the nod over Brillo, because although Clark has played good, I think Brillo's still better. When I watch the little glimpses of what Brillo does, like he always flashes to me. Always. He flashed
yeah.
when he in the field. And then coverage wise, he can cover too. So it's just I want to see him on the field too. Him and Parsons and Clark should be the rotation. You know what
Man,
I mean?
all day, man.
Yeah.
One of the things that we are having a little issues with is that J Rock is not giving up that spot. And when we got a chance, me and Boss Cowboy Sports got a chance to talk to Brillo, he said that's the spot that he want to be at J Rock's spot. So
Yeah.
I love that aspect. I know that he was a healthy scratch this past game, and the Cowboys were probably looking at it like, dog, we need him. I bet you he gonna be activated next week.
Yeah, we need him. Like the way Brillo played at the end of what game was that? I think it was the end of the Colts game. It was a game
Yeah.
we was up. Might have been the Colts game. But I just watched a little small glimpse of what he was doing when he was out there, and I think he made every play that he lined up and he made the play, whether it
Yeah.
was forcing a cut or actually making the tackle itself. And I'm like, Brillo nasty, man. And I thought it was a scratch because maybe he was trying to get that knee together or something, but I've been hearing like y'all been telling me actually that he's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with him. So
Ain't nothing wrong, kid.
yeah, I'd rather
But
see him out
but
there.
but Anthony Barr, he kind of these last two games, he's been slowly getting back into the mix of things. So
Yeah.
And then he helped us out on that goal line stand. It was him on that last one. I know D-Law came in and scraped and filled in, but you seeing Anthony Barr slowly. He still haven't played
It's a
up to the
difference, though.
levels that we want, but he's okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not the same level. It's like it's a difference between getting there. Like LV will get there. Barr,
Right.
they'll get there. But
Right.
certain guys flash when they get there. Like even people are saying that J-Rock not playing the same, right? Although he been making plays, he not flashing though. It's not like it was last season where it's like, damn, who the hell was that? Like you
Yeah.
see that out of Wilson. You see that everyone. You saw that out of Hooker in that Colts game for sure. But you see that out of Wilson almost every week. Wilson do something that make you say, oh shit, who's
Yeah.
that? I
Yeah,
haven't seen that out of Barr or LVE yet. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that out of either one of them where it's like, what, you know what I mean? Like where they flashing and it looks like they supposed to be out there. That's what I'm looking for, like the eye test. Clark is like just solid to me. Like he out there, when he out there is solid. He don't make mistakes. He chill. He's smart. He know what he's doing. But he's still not flashing yet either, though. He's not doing where it's like, yo, he killing shit. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what I'm waiting for. That's
Yeah.
what I'm. Parsons do that all day, and I think Parsons playing next to one of those guys, the same thing he did for the. And let's just say it like this too. It's not that I think that Parsons is hurting us as a defensive end. Obviously, he's not.
No.
It's just that is not where we're hurting as a team.
Right.
You got Fowler who can ball off the edge. We got Tack McKinley now. We got Tank. We had to get rid of Basham because we got too many defensive ends in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Sam Williams still killing it too. So and then I ain't even named DA. So that's how.
Yeah, and who's going to be hurt? And here's the other thing about it. We said we had to get rid of Basham. Well, they had their reservations on it because we got tacked, right?
Right.
So we created that own issue or that own problem, and that's why Chauncey was a healthy stretch. I like everything Chauncey does as it relates to that guy that can play on the edge or that three. Nevertheless, it's hard for him to find time because he is a tweener at this point. On the edge, they look at him. Yes, he's solid, but he's slow. Inside, you want him inside, but you got Gallimore, you got Big Bo, and then of course Jonathan Hankins. So you have two problems. Go ahead.
The problem is the big nickel. The big nickel.
Yeah.
We should play 3-4. We're a 3-4 team. We are a 3-4 team at this point, personnel wise. All the talent we got outside, and then we got guys that can play 3-4 defensive end, but can't necessarily play 3-tech like a Chauncey. I don't want Chauncey at 3-tech as much as I would like him as a 3-4 defensive end, where you still got a guy outside of him that's edge rushing, but he's a 3-4 defensive end. See what I'm saying? So if you had him there, Osa is another one of those guys that really 3-tech okay. But 3-4 defensive end, I think he would shine. You get what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
think because we want to keep our 3 rotations at safety, you want to keep J-Rock out there. I think that's what's holding it up, because we don't want to go to a full 3-4, because that rotation that we would have with Bohanna, you don't have to have Bohanna, Watkins, or Hankins out there at the same time. You can have them at one tech, and you can put Chauncey on either side of him, Chauncey and Osa on either side of him. You can put D-Law and whoever on either side of him.
Either side of him.
Play 3-4 defensive end too. I think that's honestly D-Law playing where JJ Watt played his entire career. D-Law would be a different type of play. Like, people would be giving him the respect that he deserved, because he's not just a edge rusher. He's a 3-4 style defensive end, in my opinion, with the way he plays. He's more JJ Watt than he is TJ Watt. He's not a TJ Watt guy, athlete. That's why you can break the contain on him as a quarterback that can run a little bit, can kind of break that angle and get outside of him. But that's because I don't think he should be doing that anyway. He should be a 3-4 defensive end. And
man, you spitting, dog. I should have had my umbrella, because now my brother, he's a diehard Niner fan, right?
Right.
And they are your 4-3 base defense, whereas their guys going to rally, chase, and hit. They create pressure with their up front, and there's no musical chairs. Right. Bosa is coming, and you know what side he's going to be on.
You know where he at.
But what they do off of it, they play off of that. Okay, you're going to line up 2. You're going to keep your running back in the backfield. Then you got Fred Warner. He is no question. He's the Mike. And then you got Shazier, whoever his name is, and Greenlaw. So it's just consistent off of that, whereas they got size. Like, we like the physicality that J-Rock brings to the table, but let's be real, fam. He's 6'10" almost, 210 pounds, and I'm giving him a few pounds, right? So eventually, when they run at him a few times, he may win 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But sure, it's going to be like fold action, because of the fact that size is just size, and you need that physicality sometimes.
And you can't do nothing else with him because of the way Wilson has come up and play. You can't say, all right, we're going to take Wilson off the field like they did last season, and you're going to be the strong safety. That don't work no more. And then Hooker, you don't want Wilson single high. He's okay single high, but not great single high. Hooker is our best single high safety on the team. And then you got Mukamu, who can kind of do that too. But I look at that as the log jam right now. It's like, we love what J-Rock brings to the team. Everybody loves it. But that's what's controlling this scheme right now. The scheme has become, let's find a way to keep these 3 safeties on the field at the same time. Rather than let's put the personnel out there that's going to be good for this situation. Because I see it, like, I'm like, well, obviously, if guys going to run up the middle on us, or guys trying to, like Green Bay game, stuff like that, if they're trying to bully us off the ball, this Fresh Prince, I'll get to you in 1 sec. But if they're trying to bully us off the ball, then let's put some bodies in there, because we got the physicality. We got a bunch of killers. Chauncey is evil as hell, and so is Osa. So you got both of those guys, and then you got, I ain't even said Big Nev name. Big Nev can play 3-4 defensive end too. But you got those guys on either side of Hankins or Watkins or Big Bo who can kill in there. Like, there's nothing you can do running the ball in the trenches when you got 3 down linemen in the middle of the field. Then you can flex out. All of those edge rushes that we keep getting, where we're not spreading out wide enough, is because we only got 4 down linemen, and they can't spread out but so far. But with 3 down linemen, they can spread. And then that allows your defensive ends or your stand-up outside linebackers to out-leverage those wide receivers that keep blocking them from the outside. And we get rid of our run problem right then and there. And then with Sam Williams on the edge, opposite Dorrance Armstrong, with Micah Parsons in the middle of the field, I don't care who next to Micah Parsons. I dare you to run the ball. Keep running. I dare you. And then you got Wilson and Hooker behind them. I wouldn't have no problem with that. Now, I'm not trying to kill Dan Quinn's scheme.
No.
It's trash. We top 5. It's clearly working. But I just think that tweak would change things, in my opinion. We wouldn't be talking about
before you read that super. I just got to say this. That's why we saw the Texans. They had a great philosophy. They went with bunch or stack formation, right? They put in Jeff Driscoll, and they had Pierce behind him, and they did the RPO. They said, okay, we're going to do this because your guys, the way, look, Ladies and gentlemen, the way the Cowboys generate pressure and get upfield is through finesse with a little physicality. They are saying that we may be light about it, but our guys going to rally chase and get to the point before you do that. But if those guys are blocking on the outside and they do the counter, or if they keep ball, then shoot,
You don't even got to block. You don't got to block as a wide receiver. You just got to stand there because he can't. He got to run through you, and that extra step is all you need to get to the edge if you're a quick running back.
Edge game, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what happened.
So good against the Colts and against the Texans run-wise is because Pierce and Taylor are more pounding backs than they are finesse guys. We don't got no problem against the slower 30 backs or slower quarterbacks. But when you got a quarterback out there that can run, and when I'm talking about this because you know where I'm going with the Eagles.
Right.
You're going to have Miles Sanders and you're going to have Jalen Hurts out there to deal with. And when you got to deal with that, they both can get to the edge. You don't want to have, me personally, you don't want to have a personnel out there where you're getting out leveraged all day by wide. Like Smith shouldn't be blocking you. AJ Brown shouldn't be blocking you as a defensive end. Either you body slam him on his head and get him out of here, even if you're just taking this play off and say, I'm not brushing this play. Because they put him here, I'm addressing him.
You know what else you got to worry about, too? Just a little bit. And I know we'll talk more about Jags midweek, but Law can give you all what Driscoll just did in Davis Mills,
and he can throw
all in one, and he got a better arm, right?
Yeah.
If they play that edge RPO game, and
that's
I'm quite sure,
like we had a weakness before when that Rams game a couple years ago. They used to use lateral misdirection against us, and it would work.
Right.
We kind of solved that problem to a degree, but now it's the RPO. Now it's the RPO. A running quarterback has been, Driscoll shouldn't have been doing nothing. It should have been like, they should have sat him down in the first quarter like, this ain't gonna work. But it was working. So when they see that, and when I say it's working, it's not like they torched us for a lot of yards. But when you see that you can actually sustain drives with those running quarterbacks, not saying that they're easy to stop by any means for anybody, but I think we have a better chance at doing it if we were to spread these guys out in the 3-4 look.
2 chunk plays. We had one, it was a 51-yarder on my guy Kelvin Joseph, and another one was a tub on my guy Donovan Wilson. But those was all off of play actions or with the ability of the damn quarterback running to the edge, and then the DB that's high, he got to be responsible because he's trying to think, I don't want to get gashed by the quarterback. So he freezes or stop his feet, and then the rest is history. But go ahead.
That was miscommunication too. Dono got caught out there because I think Bland had followed the guy across the field. He didn't see him go back across.
Right.
And you could see Diggs saying, no, you got to follow him back over. He didn't follow him back. So Donald just picked him up and got torched at the end of it. It looked like it was his problem, but that wasn't even.
We're talking some good football today.
Yeah, man. Fresh Prince, man. He said, am I the only one who thinks McGovern been pretty good this season? Go Desco, SOC.
That's DeSoto. That's DeSoto.
DeSoto. My bad. I ain't from Texas. I read that wrong. And I ain't got my glasses on. But I think McGovern's been okay. I think McGovern's a good player, power-wise. He has no problem dealing with power. I think McGovern's problem is, and you'll see it, we don't run as well when McGovern's in because McGovern's not as good in space when it comes to like pulling.
Yeah.
You don't never see McGovern pulling nowhere or in space.
Block for feet, man.
It's like McGovern got a down block on whatever's in front of him. That's what he can block. Yeah. And when you put guys like Peters in there and you take Tyler and push him inside, you see we start getting big plays to both sides because of what we were getting from Steele on the right with Zach Martin. They were clearing everything out that side. But we weren't able to do it on the left side unless we took McGovern out. But I think when we take McGovern out, Peters struggles a little bit with his endurance, I think, because I don't understand why we keep teetering with him in and out and moving him around. But I haven't said anything negative about McGovern all season because I like how he's playing. I don't necessarily like how much we rotate everybody, but I also have never seen a team this deep. Any team. I haven't seen a team that has 8 linemen that can play, until Steele went down. We had 8 guys. Because Fournette played a little bit at the beginning of the season. You got McGovern who can play. You got Tyron Smith coming back. You got Peters. You know what I'm saying? We got so many linemen that could start for you. And then we got so many defensive linemen, safeties, all that. We got guys that's in the safety room like McConnell and Coyle who we like, who if they ever had to play, I would be okay with them playing, who don't even see the field. So I can say that's probably why they rotate so much. But I still don't like the rotation over your offensive line. I'd rather you put your 5 best guys out there and let them rock and roll.
Well, let's dive into this then with the offensive line.
Yeah,
I looked up Connor McGovern's resume. 614 snaps. That's nothing to sneeze at. He only allowed 1 sack and 1 penalty. And we know that 1 penalty that was on the Green Bay, wasn't it?
yeah. That
1
wasn't even
penalty.
really a penalty
It
either.
wasn't even really that.
Yeah, he
So
ain't turning. He grabbed him, but it wasn't that bad.
he ain't really turned the shoulders like that.
Yeah,
So yeah. So he's solid, y'all.
yeah,
But can we get better at that spot? Yeah,
yeah,
you can get better at that spot for
yeah,
right now. He is not the reason that you lose it. He's not like Josh Ball,
yeah.
and the Cowboys got a unique spot right now. But we can't sleep on the Jacksonville Jaguars if you trying to say, okay, let's play musical chairs with this front 5. Let's insert Tyron Smith. Let's
Yeah.
kick Tyler Smith down at guard. And let's, by the way, play musical chairs with Jason Peters and Josh Ball. But one thing that you mentioned just a few seconds ago that I know that is prevalent.
What?
I think that Jason Peters dealing with fatigue. He may not be the guy that can give you 60 of them at 6 foot 4 or 5, 380 pounds. I just don't think that he can stand tall with that. And that could be the only reason why.
I mean, what you think about, since we were talking about McGovern, speaking of McGovern playing solid, like we know McGovern is what he is. He's solid,
Right.
Strong guy.
Right.
We know Tyron is coming back. So what you think about trying youngin over there, Tyler Smith?
I mean,
at right tackle.
It's war. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't get mad at it, man, because I'm looking at the bigger picture. Tyler Smith, he started out at Tulsa at right tackle. That's from what I heard.
Yeah.
And if he can just be that swing tackle for you, and then you would say, all right, cool. We're going to have Tyron and Jason as that left or rotating Jason and Connor at that guard spot, then that's possible. But here's the problem. We got 4 more games left. The Jags, no one to sneeze at. Trayvon Walker, I believe. He's nasty with it. Josh Allen on that side. They're nasty. They got crazy good linebackers that can rally, fly, chase, shoot. So Walker is a beast. And we've seen Tyron. Yeah. It's always the game that he come back, that he's going to look terrible. Yeah. It takes him about a game to get his feet together, y'all. And are you going to willing to sacrifice your quarterback for that?
No, definitely not. But you still got to put him in there. I mean, if there's a game to put him in, you can't bring him back versus, the Eagles or the Titans. I think you bring him back versus the Jags and live with what what happens. You got to give him his reps. He got to get the reps. And I think we're doing too much of that. That's probably the reason Peters is gassed right now, because all the musical chairs. Let them get their reps. Let them get gassed and bashed on one game and then get it together. They're not getting enough time out there to knock the dust off. You know what I mean? I don't think. Or maybe he just long in the tooth and don't got it like that no more. Who knows? But, it is what it is.
Yes, indeed. I just got to say this. All right, so here's what we up against. It's just the craziest time for our offensive line to feel this way. The Jaguars, yes, they got a scrappy style of front, right? Their collective defense is not that great, but they got a scrappy. The doggone Eagles, no one got more sacks than them. They are the #1 sack team in the National Football League now. They are rated, according to Pro Football Focus, the #2 defense. Now, as much as we can go back and forth and talk about the Titans themselves are a top 10 defense. So we got 3 weeks in a row where it's not a comfortable bed with our offensive line. We gonna have, and then we got pieces everywhere. So we're gonna have to fight these next 3 weeks for real.
We're gonna have to run the damn football.
Run the damn ball.
You ain't gonna be able to really beat these teams. Like when we got Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, and Jordan Davis out there with Cox and so on. Like, you're not going to be able to beat these teams unless you can tire them out and wear them down and hopefully hurt some people, to be honest with you. You got to be able to hurt somebody in the trenches so that you're not dealing with that. That's the only way we're going to get out of here in the playoffs as well. That's what we got to do, man. That's what we got to do. So I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Like, but it got to go down, man. It got to go down. We got to run the ball. I think when you get Dak into a rhythm where he might be passing okay, it doesn't matter. Like that's where we don't really realize. Like even if Dak is killing you in the air, it's still those plays, those chunk yards in the air, that don't tire the defense out at all. They be
No,
right back,
they be
ready to
right
go.
back, man.
Yeah, and they still lively in the fourth quarter, third quarter, because you haven't been doing nothing to them. So we have to run the ball. If you go back and listen to that Zeke interview, him and Tony Pollard interview, they nailed it. They hit. We've been saying that all season. Like defenses don't want to see them coming at you
They don't.
20, 30 times a game. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it.
Man.
So I don't think a team can really deal with us easily if we're running the ball effectively. And we were running the ball okay this game. It's just like we kind of get away from it at times. Are we not scheming it the same way? Like you said, we didn't come out with 12 or 13 personnel at almost at all. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's just I'm not going to be one of those fans that complain when you winning. I'm not
Right.
going to do that. But I still want to see us do what I know we capable of, man. We got another one from Big Cam. Big Cam on fire today. He just give me all your money, huh? He said, "Will Joseph be an issue? Also, should we use Peters more as a pass blocker and use Ball more as on running downs?" I think that part, hell no, because then it makes us too predictable. If you know that Ball is going to be out here on running plays, I don't want defenses knowing that. So no on that. And as far as Joseph being an issue, I don't think he's no more an issue than Anthony Brown was. Like they're both giving up a big play a game. And if you're going to say it now, if you're going to give up a big play per game, and maybe these reps that he's getting is going to wake him up, and he's going to start like rocking and rolling after some time. So if he can get to that point, I would like to see it because if he wasn't playing, if Joseph wasn't playing, I would going into next season, if he's still having these problems, I would have to call him a bust, man. So
yeah, he's a high round draft pick, and I told him take the training wheels off. You saw he fell off of that bike, strawberries all down his leg. Get up, get back on that bike. That's what we had to do. So that 51-yard catch that was on him, look, get back up, get back on that bike. That's the best way, and that's the best medicine. So we got 4 games. Of course, Brown is out for the season. Yeah. So now you get necessary reps. So he should be better next game. By Eagles game, he's going to have his hands full, ladies and gentlemen. Quez, AJ, the other kid, Roll Tide kid, Devontae Smith, those boys, they ain't going to say, all right, he still got his training wheels on, y'all. Let's make it comfortable for them. I seen them. They stretched the Giants. It was 4th and 7. Them doggone Eagles said, you know what? All right, let's attack these DBs. They didn't show no mercy. And if it's anybody that they would not show any mercy on, it'll be us. It'll be us.
I can't wait for that game. I'm waiting for Lord Brunson to let me know we betting because he got on Twitter talking trash. I was like, how much we betting, man? We betting that game for sure. For sure. I want my money too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that the Cowboys, though, I don't really want to win this division, to be honest with you.
Okay, talk to me.
I don't. I feel like, one, we need that edge. We seem like after the Green Bay game, I saw how we bounced back. I think we need a chip on our shoulders. I don't want to go in there with a bunch of young guys. We got a young team, young, fast team. I don't want to go out there with these guys feeling, that they're world beaters going into the playoffs. I want them going into the playoffs feeling battle tested with a chip on their shoulders, number one. And then the other half of that is Vegas. I don't want Vegas giving us the heavy fade. I looked at the Cincinnati Bengals last year. I looked at our game versus the 49ers last year, and it's like you're gonna get the calls going your way when Vegas money on the line. If you get your ass torched, you know what I'm saying?
So just like what Deckard said. Deckard said, let's be honest, it wasn't a catch against Kelvin Jones where the refs do what they want. Basically. That's what you're talking about right now, Vegas.
Just like you saw they did to Jefferson yesterday.
Yeah.
He ain't step out of bounds.
He ain't step out of bounds.
Jefferson had a touchdown. They ain't step out of bounds. They blew the whistle anyway. So it's like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be on the juggernaut side in this season because this season's been a strange one. Like as far as scoring offenses, either defenses are getting better or offenses are getting worse. I don't know what it is, but teams aren't scoring as easy as they used to. This season in particular. So when you got a team that actually got it together, like Minnesota, the Eagles, us, who can actually score, the Bills, the refs going to be on their ass when they go up against a team that's an automatic flop. because you saw what happened in the game. What game was that they took us off TV in the first half of the game? What game?
Was it CBS? It was at the Vikings.
Was it it was the Vikings game. They
Vikings
took us
game.
off TV quick as hell because they don't want to see those lopsided type of games. So I mean,
No.
I feel like the refs are doing their part to make sure their TV time is, and their ratings are as
Right.
high as they should be. You know what I mean? They don't want those lopsided victories, man.
And a lot of people don't like the conspiracy talk, but man, there's a little truth in everything,
Yeah, ain't
man.
no conspiracy if it keep happening. Let it happen one time. I say, all right, maybe that's just a thing. Let me pay. I pay attention to patterns. So once I
Right.
see a pattern, you can't deny the pattern, and I don't believe in coincidences, so they happening for a reason. He says Joseph need to get better on his turns, and he's better playing off the line than on the line. I think Joseph may be better up top as a safety. You mean? No, no.
Mm,
I
nah.
think he a corner for sure. He a
Yeah.
corner for sure.
He plays better when he got the ability to redirect at the LOS. I think he's a physical one. There
Yeah,
was a 3rd and 9 or something like that. He batted the ball. If he played lax, that's a catch,
yeah,
on him. So I think that he plays better with more timing, rhythm, and if the safety over the top, they'll get a good vibe in the feel of him too, and they'll
yeah,
know when to roll and all of that. So just give him more time. Let him fall off that bike a little bit more. I
yep,
know mama will be like, no, 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 put some
yeah,
knee pads and the
yeah,
helmet on. No, get back on that bike without that knee pads and helmet.
yeah.
Take them
No,
training wheels off.
we need that. Yeah, we need that. I think if he's getting the reps that he's supposed to get, and then he's gonna get some. We know we going to the playoffs, so you're gonna get some playoff tick this season too if you're healthy going in there.
Right.
So I think that'll be the growing pains he needs in order to come back in the next season and be able to win out in training camp. Because you even heard Jerry Jones kind of say it, like, it's finally time for him to focus on football. Because
Yeah.
he's saying, that maybe he wasn't all the way there, and then what happened to him this offseason, or what he did. I ain't gonna say nothing happened to him, what he happened to this offseason.
No doubt.
But with that said, and I was watching the reporters, man. That was kind of shady too. I was
Yeah.
watching one of the Dan Quinn interviews where they were talking about Joseph playing,
Oh
and
wow.
they kept asking questions to try to get Dan Quinn to talk about the
Yeah.
offseason issue.
Oh
And
wow.
Dan Quinn kept circling back and just talking about him playing more in training camp or something like that. He would just deflect from what they were saying.
We
So
want to do that in Dallas too, man.
yeah, they want to talk about that, something
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah.
it happened. It is what it is. They let Ray Lewis live, so you gotta let him live. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta let him live. But
Mm.
I do want to see him get that playoff experience so that he can step up and show us what he got. Because I like the kid. I said this when he was coming out, and I still think it to this day. Kelvin Joseph is the best talent at corner
Yeah.
on this team. And when I say
Yeah.
talent, I mean he has ball skills, not on the level of a Trayvon, but he has
Right.
ball skills. His man coverage ability is there, his zone coverage ability is there, but it's something to do with IQ and timing and understanding what's going on. That's his problem. His problem is solely cerebral. It's not physical at all. Physically, he's the best combined athlete at corner on this team. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's the
Fluid.
mental aspect of the game that's giving
And,
him a problem.
and just to piggyback off of that, the hero last week, Dayron Bland, right? Not a soul is talking about Dayron Bland today because we seen him. He
Yeah,
got caught on a few times, and that's what the life of a DB is. You're
yeah,
going to get used and abused. They're going to catch some catches on you. But
yeah,
at the time, you got to have a short-term memory. What
yeah.
you did good last week, erase
Don't
all
matter.
of that. Sure, it
Yeah,
don't matter. It's a week-to-week thing. And
yeah,
what happened here is that eventually you will earn your respect. Nobody throwing the ball to Trayvon Diggs' way this season, like they was tempting to do last season.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why I like that. So eventually these DBs going to get their respect, but it's earned, not given.
Remember Corey Webster from the Giants back in the day, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
He had the
then he
same
played
kind of
another one.
career. It was like
Yep,
he was getting torched early. And
yep,
then that season when they went in, I think they played Green Bay. They played Green Bay and he went off. And I'm
yep.
like, then
Mhm.
from there he was a top corner. He started playing like himself. So
Right.
I think that might be the thing with Joseph. If he has it between the ears, he's gonna be a hell of a player. And I think his ceiling is definitely higher than AB's. I just felt like AB's floor, his current level, like they too close right now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They like the same player, except for one's younger and the other one understands what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So
But
if
you
you're
know
gonna
what?
ask which one
But you
you're
know
gonna
what?
deal with, it's gonna be AB.
You know who? Like I looked at this right here last week. This dude gave up 8 touchdowns. Right. He was the second most targeted DB in the National Football League. Passer rating when targeted was way over than what AB was doing. Passer rating when targeted was right at 100 something, And his name is Ashanti Samuel Jr. Everybody was giving him flowers on his rookie year, but I said, just wait, pump the brakes. So this dude allowed 8 touchdowns. He's the second
You know
most
who else did?
targeted guy.
You know
Go
who
ahead.
else? You know who else allowed more touchdowns to AB this year?
Who's that?
Jalen Ramsey.
Oh wow! I need to look. Let me look at Jalen. yeah. Oh my gosh!
They be like,
Every
AB,
year
tell
in
him I'm
the
a win.
league, man. But I don't see nobody talking about, hey man, we need a Shante now.
Right.
you know.
While you doing that, I got Eternal Dynasty or Eternal Dynasty. I know what you're trying to do. I like that play on words, man. He said, "What did the Texans do to neutralize our pass rush?" I think honestly, it was the RPO. It was the fact that they kept mixing it up. When you game plan for a stationary quarterback, and then you get a little mixture. They had Driscoll in there and so on. I think that was kind of throwing us off a little bit, and we weren't in a situation all game. You can't really tee off if you're not in third and long situations most of the game. So they did a good job of keeping it third manageable. That's one. And then two.
Ooh, they burning up. Oh, my bad. Ooh, they burning up Jalen Ramsey.
They scored.
Passer rating when targeted 123.
You heard. You heard.
5 missed tackles. He only got 1 INT. Yeah, his stuff is terrible, man.
You heard.
Oh God, no boy.
But when I was arguing for AB, they talking like I'm crazy. I said, no, he playing.
He
playing
better than
okay.
him.
It's not great, but it's like I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean? It ain't great, but I ain't mad at it, man. But when I said that, people think I'm crazy. But I look at all the players around the league, so I'm like, I can see what other guys that are supposed to be the guy. I can see what's happening to them. But basically, when you got a game that's close to you, Internal Dynasty, when you got a game that's close, you can't really tee off and pin your ears back and pass rush the way we was doing in the Colts game. True. And we can't get that creative with it because you got to still keep that run mentality or run defensive mentality in there, or at least run personnel in there, because they keeping you honest because the game was pretty close. Matter of fact, they was up at times in the game for most of the game. So at the end of the day, you can't tee off and your pass rush not going to be great when teams can run and you know that there's a possibility that they might be running before the snap. Once you know and you got the game in hand and you know that the game is in hand, or you feel like it's not getting away from you, like we did in the Colts game and a lot of these games where we blowing guys out, that pass rush looks great because we know they have to pass. They didn't have to pass.
And let me get in on this. That's why I was saying earlier, they use stack formations, right? Mm-hmm. Or trips, bunch formations. And what they can do is you have to still respect the RPO game. You have to still respect Pierce, and they forced the Cowboys to spread out, and they saw our weakness size. So when they try to pass rush, they said, okay, quick pass, tunnel screen, pick quick pass, screen pass. And that's what they was doing to utilize the pass rush. And if you go back and look at the last 2 games, the Colts did a wonderful job on that, and as well as the Texans did a great job of scouting against that. And it's hard for you to get a sack off of a screen pass. I don't know if anybody ever done it. You can get an INT.
Yeah.
But then look what you're facing with. You loading, you getting your guys so close to the LOS, you're no longer playing your cover 3.
Yep. But check this out. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like the Texans might have possibly exposed us a little bit or caught on to what our exposure is? Because if you look at the Eagles, you look at Chicago, you look at Driscoll yesterday, you look at who else? We played another running quarterback. We played the Giants. I think we played them handily, even though they got kind of a running quarterback. But the teams that we blow out are stationary quarterbacks usually, like your Kirk Cousins. So if we rush into a spot and you're a pocket passer, we're gonna get you. But when we play against teams that have mobile quarterbacks, we haven't figured that out yet. So do you think that the Texans have shown how because you just said it, like neutralize our pass rush by like you said, spreading them out and making us think rather than rush up the field. Because it's not the only thing that can stop us from rushing is us playing conservative on the edge because we think you're trying to do something else to us, like RPO or pin us inside crackback blockers or something like that. That's what's stopping us from going upfield and like doing what we're supposed to do. So do you think the Texans might have exposed something with that?
They did, but that's common practice, right? Screen passes to alleviate some of to stop the bleeding, right? We will bleed out, use the physicality nature of that against them. And there's only one team like this is what really makes me angry at AKOYE. Like the Cowboys, we're not a good screen team for some reason, and when we do it, everybody, mama, uncle, cousin.
Even when we try to run a screen.
Yeah. They know it. Look, last year that play worked for us, and then the Cards like, nah, not no more. Buda Baker.
I think Jack got a bad poker face. I think he's giving it away with his face, or he's giving it away. He's tipping his hat somehow because I said the same thing. Like, we don't throw the ball. We don't throw good short passes, period, when it comes to like screens and those little quick shovels. We don't got a lot of that in our playbook.
We don't have none of that in our.
We obviously don't need it. We playing good without it, but we just not one of those teams that's effective at it.
I literally hold my breath when Dak throw it because I'm thinking like, hey, this dude gonna jump that, right? Yep. I don't know if it's too much air under it, if it's too strong, or the kind of caliber of like we would see our wide receivers, they will wait for the ball to get to them.
Yeah.
Whereas I see other wide receivers, they're gonna attack the ball, they're gonna go get it and continue to move. So it could be how they dial up those plays. And
that's my problem with Noah Brown versus CeeDee Lamb across the middle of the field. Noah Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Schultz are all been targeted quite a bit across the middle of the field.
Across the middle.
Noah Brown gonna go get it. Dalton Schultz gonna go get it.
Go get it.
CeeDee Lamb not gonna go get it across the middle. So that's why I said just keep him out the middle of the field and we'd be fine. 7 of the interceptions was to him across the middle of the field. You know, just stop throwing it to him across the middle of the field. Let him do his thing, move him around, get those quick looks, give him the ball, and he's our yak guy. Get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. And then when you get him pinned on a safety because you got the right leverage, okay, throw it deep to him off the perimeter because if he missed those, it's just him in the safety or him in the corner. Don't matter. But across the middle of the field, we keep trying to beat that single high look with CeeDee Lamb digging or breaking or cutting across his face. He never cuts across the guy's face. So, like you said, he's not one of those guys that's going to go get it because he don't want to get laid out doing it. You see what happened to what happened to everybody yesterday.
Yeah. James Washington. He like, man, forget y'all, man. My feet. But the only way you can stop that is the mentality of our DBs. Now, I'm still got reservations on Kelvin Joseph to blow up that tunnel screen, to like talk about literally go through the guy. I know for sure. I love my guy Trayvon Diggs, man. But he ain't gonna blow up no tunnel screen. He ain't gonna blow up no screen pass, man. Come on, man.
Diggs is the guy now. He's gonna be a permanent decoy because ain't nobody crazy enough to keep targeting him. And,
right. But they can keep targeting him on that screen pass.
And run play. Yeah. That's gonna be in the playoffs. That's what you're gonna see. Teams are gonna try to attack him short and force him to step up. And I don't think Diggs, like we already seen that Diggs can do it. He like a Deion guy. Like if he has to tackle, he gonna tackle you. He just understand that ain't what he get paid for, man. He get paid to tackle when he has to, though, because you saw the end of that Cincinnati game. He did a pretty good job there. So I think he can tackle, but he's trying to save himself because he's not the most sturdy of guys, and he knows that. You know what I mean? So I would rather have him out there than not because he wanted to show me that he can. You know, he can hit. I don't care if you can hit, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know what you do.
Hey, everybody holding their breath when he was holding his thumb. I said, shoot, DB, you can take the thumb off.
Yeah, he'll need that thumb. Put a cast on that. Cool.
Yeah, I said he's gonna be back out there.
His toes and his legs is cool. He ain't holding his ankle. You good.
Right.
Big Cam said, can DQ be proven to stop running QBs?
He did. Look, Pierce under 80 yards, right? And the last two running backs under 80 yards.
Running quarterbacks, though. Running
quarterbacks.
Yeah. No, you don't stop those. But you know what's crazy, though? We did it because he knows. See, Quinn knows. They know. I'm not wrong, man. You saw who they put out there when we needed to stop him. They put Sam Williams' ass right back out there on the edge.
Oh,
You know that, right? Because they know who their best edge guys are, and so they put Fowler out there too. When it comes to those RPO quarterbacks, you don't want to say and this is why I say go to 3-4 sometimes, because you don't want to say to D-Law after doing what he does, we want you off the field so that Sam Williams can play on the edge because you just can't keep the edge against these faster quarterbacks. You can't say that to him. And you can't say, oh, yeah, Fowler don't give up none of those edge runs because he get upfield and he cut stuff off or whatever. You can't say that to him. But why not just move him inside and let those guys play out there? And I don't see why we don't do that. We keep saying, D-Law, we trust you, because they don't want to piss him off because he is playing, he having a great season. But it's just the truth. Against running quarterbacks, he is not your guy on the edge because he's not it. We can stop running quarterbacks flat right now if we just stop being stubborn with that.
I got a solution, and it's not going to be a popular opinion. He played too damn good last game, right? LVE. But if you just pick him up, you got to kill it with speed. With these running quarterbacks, you pick LV up, put him on the sidelines. You make Parsons your Mike. That's gonna, and then tell him to spy, and then you have
Clark. Get sacks as a spy too.
He'll get sacks. It's all what people love what Fred want to do. Just put it on steroids if you have Parsons there. But people love the sacks, right? But that's a story of another day. You have Clark, and then you bring in your boy Jabril Cox. Hey, that's 235 pounds juxtaposed to being 215 pounds, and you still get the same variance of speed out there.
Yep.
Clark, Parsons, and Cox opposed to J-Rock and, of course, LVE, because what we're trying to say is you need somebody that can bust chops from hook to flat, and what we're saying is these running quarterbacks, they capture the edge. That's 8 yards. That's 10.
Yep. Every time, too. So I feel like we can stop them. I just think that,
personnel-wise, politically we can't on a consistent basis.
Yeah, politically we having problems because it's not a meritocracy. Yeah. If you look at on film, I done put it on film, you done put it on film, where you say, okay, I haven't seen, and we don't talk about this a lot, but I haven't seen Fowler screw up on an RPO play or contain on the edge at all.
No.
None. The entire season. Sam Williams, you might have caught him once or twice, but his recovery speed is so crazy, it don't matter. And then right after you do it, he gonna do it. He gonna have a play where he gonna slam the shit out of somebody and make you not want to try that shit again anyway. And you don't run RPO with Sam Williams out there because he's so, not like D-Law ain't evil, but D-Law can't get his hands on those quarterbacks. I think you push him inside on those in those games. You're like, when we play a running quarterback, you're going to play more inside. And I wouldn't have a problem with that because D-Law is solid. If they do try to run inside and hand it off to the running back, I would rather have D-Law inside right there anyway, next to a Hankins or next to a Watkins or one of those guys. So I wouldn't have over Osa is what I'm saying.
Big facts.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. Although I love Osa, I think D-Law is going to give you a better play at that spot than Osa does in those situations. Sean T, thanks for the $5. He said, why do two safeties give Dak so many issues? That and quarterbacks coverage had Dak's padding the ball 5 to 6 times. Need to attack the corner and seam. So those like 3 questions. But why do two high safeties give him trouble? Cover 2 give everybody trouble, man. To be honest with you, because you got to split those safeties, and that's hard to do if they disguise in that. Number one, and then Lovie Smith kind of said it. They threw so many looks at him, both post and pre-snap, and I watched it a little bit in the Colts game too, where I thought the Colts were playing man a lot,
right?
Because they were following guys. They were following guys and still playing cover 3, and you're not finding out that it's cover 3 until you got the ball. You already looking. So when you saying why he patting is like a idiosyncrasy that he go through, a tick that he go through while he going through his progressions. So that's probably why he patting the ball. But it's just like a nervous tick. But when you look at his pre-snap IQ, Dak got a very high pre-snap IQ. You can't just come out there. And I think that's because he knows that he didn't coming into the league. He said, all I knew was Madden. So he learned how to identify everything pre-snap. So now coaches are disguising things so much for him that he's not figuring out what's going on until he already got the ball in his hands. And that's why you get some hesitance from Dak, and you might get some errant passes out of that because And the thing that was working for him the greatest, like Dak used to throw into the triangle, meaning
Right.
over the edges short and throw deep across the middle only. That's the one thing that don't work for him no more. He hitting everything
It don't
else
work.
now. He hitting everything else now.
And let me break down cover 2 as well. Cover 2, you're supposed to be able to run, and you got to pass underneath.
Yep.
We don't have a guy like cover 2. Think two high safeties. You got your outside cornerbacks, so you got to throw into zones, or you got to throw into pockets, and you got to also understand that you got sink hook or hook in the middle. AKOYE. That
when that middle linebacker bail out. You can sit underneath that.
And it's on, and you can't hold on to that, right? Dak said, because once he drop into that hook, shoot, you supposed to go underneath or run. So go back and watch the 98-yarder, right? Dak had to, when he was in the end zone, he had to throw out and up. Those DBs and those linebackers basically was batting to jumping up at the ball. He knew that that's where the soft spot in the zone. In the area on cover 2, the weakness of any cover 2, look it up, y'all, is deep in the middle of the field, deep middle. If you can get underneath there, and you got to throw that ball.
That middle linebacker, make him.
Yeah, you got to throw that thing right at it. And I get it. A lot of people don't like the dink and dunk, but that's what you're supposed to do on the cover 2. Make them pay, make those DBs get down. And then if they play, press out?
Yeah.
You call it 2-man under. Yeah, you play 2-man under, then shoot, post you can eat with a post or a skinny, and those are trunk plays. And that's what I would love. I would love to see press 2-man under, and the safety he gonna have to hold. He can't break to the edge until the ball is determined. If not, coach gonna eat him up, because he still gotta take care of the middle of the field. And if you got a person that can run a seam, ladies and gentlemen, they play 2-man under, that's going to be a chunk play or a post. And I think that on a post,
see why I'm gonna come in and make that work for us, though.
That's going to work for you.
We were trying it with.
I just want us to make it simple, Koye. On the cover 2, I want us to run it on it, force them to get the extra safety down inside the box, and then you eat off the throws. I don't want you to force to throw into cover 2 because a lot of things
can run. Like you make it so that if they don't want that extra safety in the box, you know what I mean? If you're going to take that safety and you're going to walk him off 10, 15 yards off the ball, run the ball almost every time, make them pay for that. Look, we got DJ's World too. Appreciate you, Sean T. Hope that answered your question. But I agree with you 100%. Run the ball, make them pay for that. DJ's World said 14 Tony Romo or any year of Dak. No hate, but I'm thinking Tony. So you basically saying, would you take any of Tony Romo's season over Dak's? I ain't never seen Tony Romo on a team like this. I could say that. Period. So no. I mean, Tony.
No. Give me true talk. Give me 14 Romo and 14 days on this team. You know, you can have everybody else. Give me 14 Romo and days. You know, with show with this team. Show and show.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
That's crazy.
I thought he was saying 14 seasons. Or did Romo even play 14 seasons? I don't know.
Yeah, he played 14 seasons, but
okay, I thought he was saying.
But if you talking about 2014,
I would say, Tony. Let's just say this, man. It's
no shade upon Dak Prescott. We talking about this experience. We talking about the chemistry levels of the quarterback. Come on with the wide receiver.
No, Romo was one of my favorites. I think Romo would beast with a strong running game. Romo showed you what he can do. When he had the same problems that Dak has, people just don't give him the same hell for it. Tony Romo was trying to carry the team himself too. And when he started breaking down a little bit, he learned my running back and my tight end are my best friends, man. So he just started handing the ball off like crazy in 2014, and we saw the difference. He had to do what he needed to do to win games in the end. But he trusted and relied on his run game. So I think Dak has learned that now, though. He seemed like he's getting it to a degree. So I don't got a problem with Dak right now, man. I wouldn't say I would like them both. I really wouldn't care.
And for those who thinking that Tony Romo threw the ball all over the field in that year, he only threw for 300 yards one time in that entire season, by the way. So what people thinking that what they want, hey, you just got to be mindful of that too. You know, it wasn't
when you even look at everybody talk about Peyton Manning all the time. When you look at Peyton Manning's winning seasons, his best seasons was when he just handed the ball off in the right situation. Tom Brady as well. Like Tom Brady's best friend were his running backs, LeGarrette Blount, James White, Burkhead, those guys. Like when he or Corey Dillon, when they have a strong running game, they're hard to beat. A good quarterback that knows how to putt, be a good finisher is what I mean. They're hard to beat with a team around them, and that's all you really need, regardless of who it is. I think Dak has shown me though this season. He's shown me so far that he has what it takes to pull out those gutsy games, and he understands that he don't got to carry this team, not just because of what he's doing on the field, but he's actually saying it. And he wasn't saying that before. He used to say little glib shit that used to make me say, like, "Come on, man! Like, why are you saying this? Stop putting it on your receivers. Like, you don't need to be throwing all the time. You don't need to be a 50 pad. You don't need to be Mahomes to be great. You know what I mean? But now he kind of get it. So I ain't been saying nothing about him. But we got more to hear. It's a lot of y'all super chatting in here. I appreciate that. That's the law. That's the law effect. Yeah, I appreciate it. Come up here, they treat me like a stripper when you in here. Yeah, I like it. Front Troy Presley said, "I've been watching Dak since he got back. Dak is playing hurt. If you don't believe me, watch the tapes." I wouldn't say you playing hurt. Nah. He seemed like he all right. He seemed all right to me. You know what I mean? He making throws that he wasn't. Like I said, Dak used to only be able to throw across the middle. If you forced him to throw long or deep outside or timing routes outside, those were his problems. That's when he was throwing picks like crazy doing that. Now his picks are coming in his sweet spot, which is across the middle.
Right.
He's not coming to the outside. He actually, and for that, like look at that Noah Brown catch that we were just talking about when Noah Brown dove to the outside. He's starting to throw passes where only his guys can get it outside, and that takes craft. If you want to look back at it, it was the Minnesota game. CeeDee Lamb on the sideline. Dak is running out. He's running to the sideline. He sees Pat Pete in between CeeDee Lamb and him. He can't throw the ball straight at him. He had to throw the ball out of bounds where CeeDee Lamb can lay down and still catch that ball and run while running. So Dak is making throws that he wasn't accustomed to making throughout the rest of his career. So I don't think he hurt.
Right. So, Dak, what, 14 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, or could be right around there.
Yeah, somewhere.
He gonna have to get better with that, but also we call out here wide receivers got to do their job too to help them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like the majority of his interceptions, the reason if somebody gonna complain about some interceptions, it's probably gonna be me. But the reason I haven't complained much about him is because there is truth to the fact that Lamb is supposed to break across those guys' faces, regardless. There's no reason why Dak would throw at a single high safety that he can see standing there pre-snap. He's standing in the same spot. Safety's literally not moving because he's trying to sit you down right underneath him and hope that you cross his face. But when you see what Jalen Petrie was doing to guys, you see why guys don't want to cross those guys' faces because that's a free hit and they don't want to take that. So that's what my knock was on Lamb. It's like, you're a tough guy, but I think those are business decisions that he's making when it's not IQ. It ain't IQ because I know after the first one, you was told, hey, cross the face.
Right.
So why you ain't do it the next time or the next time or the next?
Hey, you don't want and these receivers, they be when they let it down, like even Schultz, he get let down, he gonna start pointing to his knee, like, oh, my knee.
I see Schultz.
Oh, my knee.
He rolled over. He start doing the Fred Sanford, the Sanford and Sons joint, like, oh, I'm coming, Lillian. Lay down.
I know he gonna go back to Dak. Damn, Dak, I didn't know you were gonna hit me right there. That tight. So it was my knee, you know what I'm saying? And then James Washington, oh, my feet, man. Just take me out, man. I ain't ready yet,
Drummer Cam said, what kind of passing concepts would we have ran against the Texans soft zone? I think Law kind of answered that already. Like, you should have ran more. And like he said, when those safeties are split wide, you got a two-way option with that middle linebacker if he's not a Micah Parsons, Fred Warner type of guy who got that athleticism. Because if you look at, you see how LVE is. When we run cover 2 with LVE, it's a reason we don't run a lot of cover 2. Because if you have LVE out there having to change directions in the middle of the field, you're gonna get killed. He gonna make the tackle. He might get there for the tackle, but he's not able to break anything up because his change of direction skills, just like most linebackers, ain't the greatest. going backwards, stopping on a dime, coming back forward. That's something that safeties and corners practice. Linebackers generally don't do that very well.
Right. And even though like Christian Harris last night, I mean, he's a 4-4 guy, y'all. So as a linebacker for the Texans, he don't have the greatest change of direction, but shoot, use him on the island, man. Run the ball more. Shoot, Tony and Zeke was killing it on the edge and just shied away from him.
Yeah, the Texans was very. I give it to him. We already gonna get everybody best punch because of who we are, but now winning and being a team that's like rolling teams over. Like once you put on film several times in one season that you can easily score 30, you can put up 30 like nothing.
Right.
Once the team know that, you already gonna get their attention in the film room. That's number one. And then you getting their best punch because they already don't like you too. So the Texans showing that they came out. Petrie came out, was like, man, y'all should have drafted me.
Y'all should have drafted me, man.
He came out killing people, man. And the same thing, but really everybody. I saw Malik Collins actually was playing well too. Like everybody was hitting over there. Number one, Smith was a backup corner. He got 2 interceptions. You know what I mean? Like those guys.
What was his first name? Man? Smith was balling, dog.
I don't know his first name. I never even heard of him.
I know it wasn't Jalen.
Esai Harrell might be able to tell you, but Esai Harrell really a Cowboys fan. I asked him. I said, who number 5 for your team, man? He said, he ain't no Petrie name. I said, how y'all know him, man? That's your player.
Wow.
I know him. Yeah. He a Cowboy fan who just like to hate on the Cowboys because he was told, you gotta get through your childhood trauma. He was told by his parents that he was a Texans fan since he was a kid or something. You know what I mean? So he sit there and act like a Texans fan, but he really a Cowboy fan.
Hey, you know what happened though? A lot with Cowboy fans though. Some of them used to be Cowboy fans, but in the last 20 years or such, we've been so embarrassed, right, by the 4-ladder and peer pressure had them to take the star off, and they tend to say, "Well, I like this other team," and I've seen it happen before because I'm from Mississippi, so there's only a few. It was only Cowboys, Niner fans. But when they had Drew Brees, the Saints, I saw a lot of Cowboy fans and Niner fans jump ship and start rooting for Drew Brees. I said, wait a minute.
That's like when you ask your wife, like, what team you like? She'd be like, the ones with the best colors. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how mine was too. My wife, she's
off the bandwagon.
She's from California, so she
was.
wearing
that? Oh, I like the Rams colors.
Yeah. She said, I like San Diego. I like San Diego Chargers. She a Cowboy fan now, though.
She better be. She better be.
I force her. Hey, we go on Cowboys all day. Take that.
You see what YouTube doing? You better jump on. Brent takes. He said Dak hit Gallup on the sideline and that honey hole against cover 2 too. But that's hard ass throw to make consistently against NFL players. It's a way to get your guy killed because you got to throw with anticipation on those throws. As soon as he clears that corner, you got to let the ball go. Regardless, you got to let it go. So if that safety understand what's going on, he's going to tee off on you. The only way to do it is if you hold the safety with something in the seam that make it so he can't press down on you like that. Other than that, you're going to get killed. But even if that's happening, corners understand, like, they don't have they have flat to short to flat, like 15 yards off to flat. They can ride up with you a little bit too. So you still don't know what that corner might do, because even though they're in cover 2, they could play cover 2 off where they sync up a little bit. You know what I mean? And then converge on the flat late, and then you throw an easy interception on those because they can trick you on those. So
was it cover 2 when he threw the second interception?
You talking about that? No, not the interception. He talking about that route that Gallup dropped. He got hit, I think, out of bounds or something, but he dropped one. But it was did he catch that? I don't know if he caught it or not, but they did catch that. They threw that. That was a nice throw. That's another thing Dak's been doing this season that I wasn't seeing. Like, if you go back to any of my Dak breakdowns where I was breaking him down, he wasn't taking advantage of guys on the outside one-on-one.
Right.
And he wasn't throwing with anticipation. He's been throwing with anticipation this season a little bit too much. That's where the interception.
That joker bite him, man.
Yeah,
he gonna run a dig. That joker run a post. Yeah.
A little bit too much. You got Big Cam. Let me go through these super chats. Big Cam, he says, should the addition of TY help break up that cover 2 defense? Exactly. Like what we just talked about. If you have him in the seam that can hold those safeties in the middle of the field, you could take advantage of the outside a little bit more, which will force them out of a cover 2 look into something a little bit more favorable. But yeah, I would say so. Also, he can bend back inside behind that linebacker, and you forcing that linebacker. Like if you run a dig right into that linebacker's hook zone, he got to respect that, and he can't converge. And even if you ain't got that hook route there, ain't no linebacker chasing TY Hilton.
And let him know what he got to do against a robber.
Against a robber, you want to make sure, like, well, that's against a cover 1, but against a robber, you want to make sure you flood that zone. So you want to give him a 2-way look. So that safety that's dropping down, we used to do that with X Woods all the time. They would run like drag routes or flood concepts against a robber, because you want to have in breaking routes that are above and below him. So you got a choice. So it make it easy for the quarterback to read where he want to go with that ball based off of if that safety drives, all right, I'm going to throw deep. If that safety floats back, I'm gonna throw underneath, and you could do that to him all day or with a 2-way go. You know what I mean? Because he don't got no help. You could do that all day to him.
And one more.
Go ahead.
Describe disguise cover 2 for him right quick.
Oh, you talking about when they drop a safety down at the bottom?
Yeah, because it's clear the same concept. Yeah, but you got to be able to decipher that. Go ahead and break it down.
No way to
break down some stuff, baby.
There's no way to really figure that out though, like, because you figuring it out post snap. So it's the same cover 2 concept. Like you got the same concept. You still got to throw across the middle and throw underneath that linebacker, either or. But when they disguise that cover 2, you have to not only make that throw, because it's a time and throw and it's touch. Like if you look at the last drive where we were throwing the Schultz, they didn't have time to disguise anything because we were playing hurry up. So they were coming out flat where they were supposed to be. But earlier in the game, they were disguising it, and you saw that they were breaking those passes up because they were disguising it, because they were tricking Dak into thinking that he had a look that he didn't have, and was forcing him to throw those balls late across the middle, and you can't throw the ball late across the middle. So that's what a disguise cover 2 does that a base cover 2 won't do. A base cover 2, I got to throw with time, and I got to sit this ball down quick with some touch. A disguise cover 2, you got to be a psycho like Aaron Rodgers to even think you're going to be doing that anyway, because most quarterbacks are going to wait to see what they're looking at before they do that, especially when Dak already had thrown 2 interceptions. That was going to make him even more gunshot. So that's what the 2 interceptions actually made me like Dak even more in that game, believe it or not, because he had all the reasons on that last drive to be gunshot, and he wasn't. He should have been. But he wasn't.
Let me give him that one on that one, y'all. That joker broke that down like a fraction, baby.
Law throw the fastball. He's like, how about this?
How about that? How about Robert? How about cover 2? Disguise cover 2. He was like,
Law killing me. Got me sweating over here.
Killing me in here, man. I admit it.
It's my life. Oh, I admit
my life. Hey, shout out to R. Kelly, though, man.
Hope all is well, man. You know what I'm going to say about Kells, man? I'm going to say this about Kells, man.
He knew he wrote that music. He knew he wrote that song. He didn't release it.
Oh, he did release that because he talking too much relevant shit. But he did what he did when he was young, right? When he was younger, I think he did the first one, right?
Right.
I think he did. That was him on that tape when he was young, right?
Yeah.
But he ain't did shit since then.
No.
He got convicted off of Surviving R. Kelly, the movie, the show. He got convicted because it was no way he was getting a fair trial.
Bill Cosby here, man. The Quaaludes that happened in 1973.
Yeah.
They're like, look, hey.
You know what he did that made them come after him like that? He tried to buy back his catalog, which is worth like $1 billion right now. He wanted to buy back his catalog. They said, oh yeah, we got you. They turned him off like a light. You know what I'm saying? I like, God damn. All right, we got.
Hey, the same thing with Bill Cosby. He tried to buy. Man, we talking too much.
He tried to buy NBC. He's like, oh, you want to buy NBC? Are you sure you want to buy NBC? He said, I want to buy NBC. He said, hit the button. Hit the button.
1972. You know, he put some Quaaludes in my drink. You know?
Man, listen, I'm not even as famous as Bill Cosby. And I know I ain't got the Quaalude no goddamn body, because people be like, that's a AKOYE. I be getting all kinds of pics, all kinds of treatments. So if that's the case with me and I'm just a AKOYE, I don't believe it. I don't think Bill Cosby got to do all that to get no woman, man. But I digress. Anyway, James Tyson, he said, think we might kick the tires on Bobby Massey, free agent right tackle, last started with Denver. I don't even know who he is. I would have to look at him.
I know Bobby Belt, but I don't know Bobby.
I doubt that we would do that though, because I think we got a deep offensive line room, man, and we got guys that are versatile, like Peters, who can move around a little bit.
Monte Collins,
yeah, and even Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith was a right tackle, and I think his footwork wise, I think he could play right tackle. It would be a big ask to ask him to do that, but what it would do, the same effect we talking about with Kelvin Joseph, where he getting those reps everywhere. Tyler Smith has been a left guard, he's been a left tackle, and he's gonna be a right tackle. And if we can't get Still in here in the beginning of next season, starting the beginning of the next season, Tyler Smith would be a guy that you wouldn't mind starting the beginning of the next season at right tackle. So I think we'll move guys around and give them reps over there rather than bringing a new guy this late in the season. I think Peters was the new guy, and that's it. I don't think they're bringing another one. We got DJ. He said the O-line back to what it was when Smith and Martin were in their prime, or another player as good as Parsons.
Hold on. What are you saying? Hold on. Let me see. The O-line.
The O-line back to what it was when Smith and Martin. So you talking about with Tyron Smith and Martin? He said we're in their prime, or another player as good as Parsons. I don't know what you was asking with the as good as Parsons part, but the beginning of it, I don't think, and this is a knock on Dak right here. I don't think the offensive line has been very bad. I think the way we've been playing, we've been passing the ball a lot the last couple seasons. Even when Fredericks came back, we were passing the ball so much, having them play back and getting hit rather than firing off the ball running. When you watch Dak's first season, we were running through everybody because we were running at everybody. We weren't letting anybody hit us in the mouth. When we started doing that and then holding the ball long, I think that's what was creating the sacks and was making it so that we didn't think we had a good offensive line anymore.
Dude.
Dak now is getting rid of the ball like this.
He had
time to get to him. It's not just because we're blocking great.
We had prime. I'm talking about prime Tyron, prime Travis, prime Zach Martin. Those three right there. And we had a quarterback that was still developing. Now, if you remember somebody talking about you take this year, blah, that year, blah. If you take 2022 Dak and put him on the 2016, 17, 18. Yeah, you do even more. You know what I'm saying? Better with the quarterback and their philosophy.
Yeah. We win that. We win that season if Dak was playing the way he's playing right now. So yeah, I didn't understand the Parsons part of that question, DJ, but appreciate it. He said, shout out to my two OGs, Law and AKOYE. What's up, Megatwan? He said, y'all know what it is. One question with our running back, why go away from the run, and does Dak have enough weight to make the call to do so more in the game? Well, first off, Dak do got the right to call more runs. If you watch the Colts game, I think that was one of the best games he called as far as pre-snap. Like, you could see Dak moving guys around. I like when Dak is doing that. And then even in the last drive, him handing the ball off to Zeke, I think that was his call. I think they called a pass play. Because just watch, when you want to know if Dak is doing an audible, either watch him talking and moving around and moving guys around, or
he do that number like this.
Yeah.
And then he turn back around. I like, man,
he did it.
That's wild, man.
Watch the wide receivers. When you watch the receivers, the receivers, if their release is, if they run at the defender, then it was a running play from the start.
Right.
If they run a route, then that wasn't a running play. They just decided to run. See, Dak did that. You know what I'm saying? So that last play with Zeke, they ran fade routes on the edge, on the outside.
Yeah.
That one he ran in for the touchdown. So Dak did call that a running play himself, I think. I don't know for sure, but that's my assumption. But I think he got the right to do it. I don't know why we go away from it, man. Like, I think it's because the game was close and we was trying to get some leverage, maybe. I don't know, or try to play a little bit too up tempo. You know what I mean? But
people say that Dak Prescott had a horrible game up until the last 2 minutes, right? That 98-yard drive.
Yeah.
When you look back and watch it again, no, that opening series, if you take the opening drive Dak and the last drive Dak and just do those two tapes, man, you would think that, man, that dude,
had a great game.
Peyton Manning over there, man. You know,
that last drive was
the first drive and the last drive. Yeah.
I would give him that. I would give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Voch, man. He in the house, man. Shout out to
Watch in the
Voch.
building. What
Yes,
up with you,
indeed,
brother?
man. I see
Hey,
people say Voch Lombardi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Voch know where the link at. You know what I'm saying? He can jump on. All Texans fans, this is Jay Worthy, appreciate you. He said all Texans fans are really Cowboys fans that jump ship because they're from Houston. I'm from Philly and I'll never root for the Eagles. How about them Cowboys?
Yo, how about them, man?
I feel you.
They are because technically
it's hard. I know you know,
should
man.
Be Oilers fans, you know.
Yeah, you done fought. You probably done been spit on a couple times if you're crazy like that. Because Philly is crazy, man. I'm not even lying to you, man. I've seen dudes, walking down from Cowboys games. They were like you walking in front of you with an Owens jersey on. I'm like, man, it's spit on the back of your jersey, bro. Don't even know spit on them. They've been spitting on you the whole game, man. And I ain't talking about one. I'm talking about a lot. Philly fans is some weird people, man. I like them when it comes to like basketball. I like what they did to Ben Simmons and all that. That was fun. but when it comes to being a fan from somewhere else, I understand because it's like your own family turned against you, man. They ready to kill you in that house, man. So Philly fans is crazy, man. So I God bless you for being from Philly and being a Cowboy fan. You got heart. I mean, you got heart. Calvin Jefferson, he said Dak threw Kellen under the bus, mentioning the play calling as a reason for pick. Oh, it's Peters, your right tackle. Peters is your right tackle. He got to be because he better than even a 70% Peters is better than 100% of ball. That's for sure. And Dak throw a lot of people under the bus. Get used to it. Remember, this is how we met, Law. He said, hey, maybe I got to throw it in Dad's face mask. Remember he said that?
Right. But Dak was saucy, and we know Dak was quiet as a church mouse as relates to Amari Cooper. We said things left and right about we need this guy, Odell Beckham, Tupac, and Biggie, and I have yet to hear Dak Prescott say, "Hey, I'm missing my guy number 19 from last year."
Why you get rid of Amari?
Why you got rid of him?
And when people say that, like I said that too, it's like if Dak, like you know what you didn't do, you didn't get her to go Voch right here. Hold on.
Yes, it did. The link,
young Voch. What the link at, big dog? It's in the description of this video. Go under the first thing in the video, you'll see. It's a link under there. Hit that. Yep. Salute.
That's how I jumped on.
When you look at what we don't do, we ain't get rid of Michael Irvin. We wasn't going to get rid of Michael Irvin. You wasn't going to get rid of Jay Novacek. You wasn't going to get rid of Witten. You know why? Because don't nobody get rid of their quarterback security blanket. Nobody. So when they do that, it's because the quarterback okayed that. There ain't no way you get rid of the guy that the quarterback love throwing to, and the quarterback don't complain, don't say nothing. You know what I mean? So I already knew it. Like you don't want piss. So when he said that was the black Kirk, Dak with the black Kirk cousin. I know they said it was
he showed independent. He showed and say, nah, you know what I'm saying? Both sides. Because Law, do you have any truth to that? Passer rating when targeting Amari Cooper last season was 122.7.
Right.
You don't lose that out there on the field. And 8 touchdowns, by the way.
And then the whole season. Come on. And then you got Gallup that's hurt. When you get rid of him, Gallup is hurt.
Right.
You know, and then this season, we going after Odell Beckham with no knees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or TY Hilton. And neither one of them is an upgrade to what Amari Cooper was already doing, already here. That's like you got a Ferrari sitting in the driveway, and you like, give me that Honda. You know
give me that Honda, man. Yeah, 6-cylinder at that, you know.
Voch Lombardi. What's up, good brother?
Listen, man.
I wish I had a war chant to do for you.
Hey, listen.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, yeah, I was sitting there listening to y'all, man. I was sitting there listening to y'all. I didn't even think about it, but Dak do be throwing people under the bus, man. You listen to his last press conference. He was like, yeah, man, shit, man. Noah Brown didn't even see the ball. he said Noah Brown. So I don't know what happened there, you know what I mean? You got shit to clean up, but we'll be all right. Threw that boy under 18 wheels, didn't he?
Yeah, when CD Lamb missed that, it caused that interception across the middle of the field, like miscommunication.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't see no. I don't know.
Yeah, he don't know what he's doing out there. Like, he will throw you under the bus real quick. Like,
what's good, fellas?
He's not playing. Yo, what's good with you, man?
Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just,
we not chopping it up. Go ahead, direct
We're
that.
Chopping up, freestyling.
Hey,
Yes,
man,
sir.
you know, man, I just, you know what I'm saying, clocked out the volume and I tapped in and I hear Law Nation talking about that Dak ain't do too bad in the first place. Yo, Law, if Dalton Schultz catches touchdown and Zeke don't fall down the red zone, the score might be 42-15, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's a whole nother conversation that we ain't even, have, man. You know, Dak wasn't perfect or whatever, man.
Right.
But even in these bad games, whether it be this one, Green Bay, or like the Giants or some of these air quote bad games, we still able to put up 27, 28 points on the boards. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. 100.
so you know what I mean? We can probably be bad on offense. We just can't be bad on offense and defense and on goddamn points. Right?
And special teams.
Cavante was like, man, I'm 5'5", man, 155
listen, you better catch
pounds,
that ball.
man.
You got one job, man. Catch that damn ball.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Koye, about your one job thing, that's what I was thinking. Look, if you got a long list of jobs, we might let it slide. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if Cavante Turpin, you really ain't playing wide receiver. All you gotta do is catch the punt.
Catch
And look,
that
he on the
punt,
side. Look, we've been loving Cavante all year, but now he on the sideline smiling, doing backflips. You better sit your ass down to catch that punt, doing backflips after the game and shit. You better quit smiling.
What the hell is wrong with your ass, man? You better chill. Yeah, crazy. Oh, I got DJ's World who threw a super chat in there. He said he was trying to clarify his question earlier because he asked him about Parsons. He said I was asking if I had to choose between 2011 and 2017 O-line or getting another pass rusher that can do everything Micah can do. Who do you choose? Man, Micah is a once in a lifetime player. If you see Micah Parsons, that's like saying, do you choose Lawrence Taylor if he's available? Of course, you're always going to take him. So I get what your question is now. Appreciate that, but yeah, I would still answer it the same way. You grab Parsons, man.
You grab Parsons. Man.
Your offensive line, you can. I've seen guys pick up, journeyman offensive linemen and play pretty well. I ain't seen too many guys that you can pick up and ask them to do what Micah Parsons is doing right now. So no, you take Micah Parsons, man.
You take Parsons.
And we got more super chats coming up in here too. You got Mark Clark. He said, excellent breakdowns, Cowboy Nation. He just showing some love. Let me throw him up here, give him his love. And we got one more. Who that? Megatron again. He said, let's go for money. Yeah, treat me like a stripper. I said they treat me like a stripper when Law come up in here. They start taking shit off and shit. It's hot in here anyway. You know what I mean? But what's good, man? Let's go. We done hit every damn topic. I'm gonna let you go ahead and rock it out. Law. I mean, not Law. Voch pulling out knives and shit.
So let me show you what I had Sunday.
Yes, indeed, man. We've been having a good time over here, man. It's football right here. This is what football is about, man. Non-scripted. We just
anyway, Clay, like I was saying, man. Like I was saying, man.
You throwing that, John?
Huh?
You be throwing that thing? Do you have to
throw the other one?
2 hands? Do you have to do that?
You throw the knife.
I throw the other one. You know what I'm saying? This is more of an accent. The other one is a tomahawk. I can throw the tomahawk and kill
Kratos, rather.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I wish I was home. I would show you my John. I got a John with an orange handle, but mine's just a little Home Depot John. It ain't made by the Tuscaloosa tribe and no shit like that. It ain't a Seminole John.
I think you know what I mean, what we gotta figure out with the Cowboys, shots out to me and my man's Will Steele. We was just talking about this, is that we got to figure out if this is a team that's trending downward or we just play down our competition. You know what I'm saying? So if this is a team that plays down our competition, fine. We got nothing but tough games coming up. You know what I mean? Play up to the Eagles, play up to the Titans, then playoffs, then we good. Right. But if we get to the Eagles game and we play as slow or as sloppy as we did these last 3 games, then we probably got a little issue that we need to figure out. You know what I'm saying? But if we come out in the Eagles game looking like the Vikings game, first of all, I'm going to jail because I'm talking shit to all the people on the internet. But if we come out in the Eagles game looking like that, then we'll go, okay, well, cool. Maybe we playing with our food a little bit, but ain't no more food in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me ask you this then. That's a good observation, though. So do this year's team beat Kansas City team last year, the Raiders, and as well as the Arizona Cardinals? I ain't talking about the Denver, but I'm talking about those 3 teams there. Do this year team beat them?
I think so, because your pass rush better. You know what I mean? Like, even though this team will have its woes, like, we ain't giving up 35 points, you know what I mean, like we did with the Raiders. Like think about it, man. A bad day of offense is 28 points for us. A bad day of defense is 23 points. Like, we winning. It ain't cute, but we winning. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, and just looking at Kansas City defense the other day, man, they looking Man, they looking so if we had to line up against some dudes just like matchup wise, man, I think our pass rushers will probably get up for that, and I think our offense will put some hands on that defense though. So I would love to see it. Shit.
And not just that, we've been in games like those games last year. We've been in those games this season.
Right.
We just pulling them out now. The Texas games easily could have been one of those games where we was a letdown game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we pulling them out now. We weren't able to do that last season. So I think
Also,
automatically we already showed that we. That's why I said I'm not on Dak ass, because he done transcended that wall where it's like I can win these games that are against us where we're not supposed to win. Like we stole that game yesterday.
Koye, let me just get focused and just talk to the audience for a second, man. Listen, bro, we got to stop looking. We got to stop looking for validation from Eagles fans. We got to stop looking for validation for Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. We got to stop looking for validation from Shady McCoy and things. We're the bad guy. I realize this, man. We're the bad guy, man. Teams want us to lose. We could blow out an 8-1 team by 33 points. They're going to say, well, that team's a fraud. We can barely beat a team with a good defense. They're like, oh, well, that's not a gritty win. You just probably should have beat them a little better. The best team in the NFC can have a close game with them, but they're brave and courageous and gritty and pulling it out at the end. Bro, we just got to live with the fact that these people not rocking with us, man. We just need to have that FM attitude.
Yep.
We just need to have that attitude, man. They not gonna be rocking with us, dog. So we don't need to be. If they not in the house, if they not a part of any of these audiences, if they not tapped in with us like that, man. If they not tapped in with us on social media, bro, we don't need to be looking. John 367, the Eagles fan on Twitter, say we not good. Who gives a
fuck? Gives a goddamn. At the end of the day, I feel like that too. Like Skip and Shannon, they look like they about to go at it too. I just watching that. But, but when you look at the way they address Dak coming back at the end of that game, and then you look at like games like Kirk Cousins versus the Bills, right?
Right.
They were playing trash. Both of them had, well, I think Josh Allen probably had the worst game out of the two. But in those games, like, even when you see Josh Allen sliding, I'm not hearing it when he's throwing interceptions and they back. I'm not hearing. Are they real? I'm not hearing these questions. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's going through a lull. They don't give Dak those same concessions. And I'm starting to see that real clear now. So it's giving me the same energy I was having when I first started and I was mad about Dez because of the narrative. I think it's just the Cowboys thing, though, where there's sometimes an inside man where Jerry going to 105 and he's going to drop some jewels and let it be a frenzy. Or it's guys from the outside that just really don't like the fact that the Cowboys are always plastered all over the place, like Shady McCoy, who said that Dak ain't doing shit this season. He just throwing shit. Like, come on, man. Like, when you listen to that, it's to grab you. It's to get. That's like their version of clickbait. They know it's going to piss you off as a Cowboy fan because we got the biggest fan base, and they know that's going to piss people off. But if you start responding to that a little bit too often, you ain't never going to start making videos, man. You know what I mean? So I don't think.
Come on now. Let me ask Voch this, man, because I asked you, Koye.
Go ahead.
Are we utilizing Parsons the right way, Voch?
Yeah, let's hear your answer.
Let me hear your thoughts on this, man.
I think we are, but I'll double up on that and ask you a question. Are we using Trey Diggs properly? Right? Because I think Parsons is going to be who Parsons is, right? But if there's two impediments to the Dallas Cowboys, is run game and his deep passes versus cornerback number 2. They going to throw it on him. It could be Kelvin, it could be Duran. As long as it ain't Diggs, they going to throw it on him. Let me tell you what I liked about Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan realized that. So you know what he did? He said, all right, I got Darrelle Revis. If Darrelle Revis right here, everybody else going to be over here. It's going to be, you're going to get 2 safety helps. Yep. It's not practical. Right. But who the fuck finna throw on Revis? Right. So now we get these games to where they're not really throwing on Trey Diggs. If they throw the ball on Trey Diggs, they're trying to hold the ball and do some double move. We got pass rushes to help deal with that. So now I wish you would try to throw a D ball versus Trey Diggs, the cornerback with the best ball skills in the league, probably better than some wide receivers in the league. So if I'm Dan Quinn and I'm just a YouTuber, I'm just Voch, I'm nobody. But if it's just me, if y'all not gonna throw at Trey, then cool. I'll let Trey follow whoever he gonna follow. But whoever Kelvin and Duran them on, we gonna shade help over on that side. So now you're gonna pick. You either gonna throw in the doubles or you gonna throw it at Trey. Pass rush gonna do what it do in the first place. That's my retort to you, Law Nation. We're using Michael Parsons. Fine.
Let me ask you this, though, before you address that, Law. Do you think that the reason they doing that, though, Voch, is because we're trying to keep those 3 safeties on the field by keeping J-Rod Kurtz down in the box? You think that's the reason we're not coming out there and helping the other side of the field because we keep J-Rock out there?
I do think you need J. Ron and Donovan for like run support. You know what I mean? So they can be there and they can hybrid up the run support, cover tight end role or whatever, right? But if you like, even if it's simple, right? Even if it's like one high, Malik Hooker don't need to play the middle of the field. You ain't gonna run the Trey side. Go ahead, you know what I mean? You really ain't got to change nothing. You ain't got to change. Look, even if it's cover 3, fine. You cover your deep middle, but just cheat over a little bit. Trey's fine. Trey got his side. So that's what made me think that Dan's probably not using Trey to the best of his ability. Plus, we know that he's shutting down Justin Jefferson. He's shutting down Michael Pittman. He's shutting down Terry McLaurin, Jamar Chase early this year, man. Trey can travel now. So I think we should use that.
Yeah, that's a brilliant observation, man. Look, both of us, we been talking for an hour. We didn't think of that part of it. Because I look at it, man. Shout out to you about it too, because I was looking at it like this. They run Trey Diggs' way, right?
Sure do.
They don't pass Trey Diggs' way. They run his way, and they pass the opposite way. And they challenge. They do this against us with the tunnel screens and everything, smokes or what have you, to alleviate the pressure that Parsons brings to the table. Yeah. How can we stop this, Voch? How can we stop these running quarterback things, this college style of offenses that they have presented to us, man? How do we do this?
He probably was on the volume when we was talking about that too, because I want to hear what he think about moving D-Law inside on those against running quarterbacks.
I think you can I think you can live with the running quarterbacks, because at most all they're gonna get you is a first down or something like that. Like and while they out there, like how they're gonna pretty much attack you. It's the big plays that kill us, man. It's these chunk plays. It's these deep passes that's killing us. I think Dan Quinn has lived with the idea that y'all probably gonna scramble for a couple yards, and that's fine, because Daniel Jones will do it. Joe Burrow did it. You know what I mean? Like these guys they'll run around for a little bit, but can you beat us in the air? And I think he's more concerned with beating us in the air. But they throw that bitch to cornerback too anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, what's crazy? Even with those, man, we still haven't been giving up a hell of a lot of passing yards. Like, you just give up one per game, and they still end up with like 200, 170, something like that. So it still ain't killing us as much as it looked like. It feels like it's killing us, but we ain't even giving up 20 yards, 20 points a game either. Not on a regular basis. So it's just still worse than it actually is, because we got a standard now that we're trying to uphold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got a question right here too. He said, Voch, I'm glad you stepped in. He asked us this already. Big Cam, shout out to you. Appreciate you. He said, Voch, I'm glad you stepped in. What would you do with our O-line issue at right tackle? Would you right tackle? How work the line knowing Peters is always gas? He basically saying, how would you work the line knowing that Peters is always gas?
Peters always gas? How we know he always gassed?
It appears that way.
His ass out as if something must be wrong with him. So we said
that's just because he's 400 pounds. Peters ain't tired. He all right. His ass gonna have to play now. That motherfucker better run some gases after practice. Goddamn it! Look, ain't no tired now. I think it's easy. Like, nobody's allowed to get hurt no more. 77, 73, 63, 70, 71. They got to be your lineup, man. We've been saying the whole, like, you had depth at left tackle, and you kind of still do. But Terrence Steele was the one dude on that offensive line that couldn't go down, because if he did, it was Josh Ball season. And Josh Ball was in that mug for 12 plays, 13, 15 plays. They was like, Peters did some shit. He
growing up. They're like, hey, get your help back.
Get him out of here, man. Save your quarterback, man.
I have been on those sidelines before. Somebody said, get his ass out of here. Well, somebody get him out of here. And they was like, who gonna do it? They not moving Tyler.
Everybody look down the line.
Jason Peters like, everybody
look down the bench.
All right, man. But when Jason Peters got in the game, we didn't hear shit from Okoronkwo no more. Okoronkwo could have made the damn Pro Bowl if Josh Ball stayed in there. But Jason Peters went in there, he erased. So Jason Peters ain't gonna be amazing, but you just gotta be better than Josh Ball, and that don't take much.
Man, Voch, I was listening to you guys right before I jumped on with AKOYE, and one of the things that people were saying is that, hey, what about continuity? I said, dog, you went off on that guy. Can you break down the continuity thing? Because people think that continuity is what you need with his offensive front five.
Voch played offensive line. Not only did I play offensive line, I played center. You playing center, you got to be the nucleus, and you're responsible for both sides. Continuity is important.
It is.
But the one thing that's better than continuity is better dudes. The one thing, listen,
Right.
Josh Ball been a swing tackle all season. He been practicing right tackle all season. He's been back up right tackle all season. If anybody got continuity with Zach Martin, it's Josh Ball. I dare somebody to walk up to ask Zach Martin right now who the hell he'll rather have, Josh Ball, who he been practicing with, or the better dude that ain't played right tackle since 2011. I bet, or 2006. I bet you he gonna say, "Hey man, give me the better dude." Ask Dak Prescott. Ask all. Look, man, this continuity thing is cool, but you got to be damn near idiot level for continuity to come into play. Like, you got to not know the plays, you got to not know combos, you got to not know nothing for continuity to matter in that way. But if you have a relative idea, and look, Jason Peters ain't been here long as Josh Ball, but if you got a relative idea of what to do, how to combo, and what the plays are, give me the better dude. The better dude is much better. Because look at it, Zach Martin be like, "Hey man, we comboing him." Right. Hey man, go get him. Zach Martin tell you what to do, long as you can do it once you get there. Damn,
so in the chat, y'all put better dude in there because Dennis Houston and Jalen Tomer got a lot of continuity with Dak Prescott. But look where they at right now. We bringing in TY Hilton. Give me the age, man. Give me the TY. Give me the better dude. Give me TY over that continuity. I said, God dog, y'all know it. Better dude time.
Jalen Tolbert knees work perfectly fine. TY Hilton ain't had a good ACL since Andrew Luck played. Come on in, because he ain't giving us something. Get your ass in here, better dude. You shitting me? Look, and that Dennis Houston shit, all that Dennis Houston shit. Hey man, how the hell Dennis Houston make the team? Hey man, Dak like a man here in the right place at the right time. We played a game and a half versus goddamn Tampa Bay. Get Dennis Houston out of the hell out of Michael Gallup limped on the field. Goddamn. No, look, hold on. How about Michael Gallup walking on the stick shit? I'm Dennis Houston
during the game. They're like, "Jerry, we can't cut him during the game." He said, "Cut him now." Like,
cut him now.
That man was eating nachos in no time, boy. Get Dennis Houston ass up out of here.
Yo.
You kidding me?
But he got continuity, Botch.
Continuity.
All right. Continuity. All right.
Yo,
oh my God. My stomach hurt over here, man. Oh my gosh, man.
Continuity.
Listen, I got 3 people now waiting out in this parking lot. I got to get. I'm in the hotel. I'm supposed to be on a halfway vacation. But listen, let's definitely do a
roundtable Friday. Roundtable Friday.
On Friday, right?
Roundtable Friday.
Roundtable Friday. Everybody that's here, y'all early for it, man. I appreciate both of y'all jumping on and blessing me, man, because I really was jumping on to talk about TY for maybe 30 minutes. We've been on here, for 2 hours, man.
Law started throwing some money, boy. You just, we can talk a little more. We can talk a little more.
Okay. Y'all start throwing them shade. Change.
I came in with the axe and shit. Like, I was like, sit down, man. Let's sit down.
Listen, R. Kelly mentioned everybody, didn't y'all start talking about R. Kelly? R. Kelly was like, one day I was at Walmart, and the lady at Walmart, and she said, R. Kelly, you traumatized. Lady, how you gonna judge me? Let me tell you about Jerry Jones. Man, I can't stand Jerry Jones. Why you hate me, Jerry Jones? I was in a line at Chipotle. I admitted it.
You admitted it, boy.
That's why I know he really dropped that shit on purpose, because he started talking about
it. Yeah, we know he dropped it. Come on,
he was like, I'm gonna get this appeal. He said, this shit gonna be fucking, this appeal gonna work.
They're gonna hear from me. 1 beat, 20 minutes. They gonna hear from me.
Yeah, he killed that, man. Killed it.
Oh my God, man.
Shout out to all the AKs that's on here, man. Shout out to all my guys from the round table. Law Nation, tell them where you're from. Everybody here know y'all, but tell them where y'all from. I'm not used to being the host, so you know what I mean?
Oh man, come on with it, man. Law Nation Sports, man. Find and follow me on multiple outlets under that name. Hey, you'll see my face, name, or logo. Hey, I already dropped TY film, so y'all check that out. We got some good nuances to it, man. And I'm probably go live again later on.
You sure will.
On MySpace and Black Planet, baby. Y'all come check me out on Loud
Black Planet.
Sports. Yes, and Black People Meets, man. I'm everywhere. Man.
Yo, you are not Black Planet, for real?
He ain't on Black Planet for real. You better not be on Black Planet for real. Better not. Hey,
Well, I believe it when you said that.
You don't Black Panther for real?
He be everywhere, man. Anywhere you look, you gonna find Law, man. Law be streaming on 8
I'm
different
on
platforms.
Rumble. Y'all check out my Rumble page and my Twitter and TikTok, man.
Right.
Come on.
Where you from, Voch?
That's where to find me, man. Voch Lombardi. I ain't gonna plug too much. I'm just here for the love. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate that, man. Love y'all, man. Talk to y'all soon. I'm gonna get out here because I know I'm getting cursed out. My phone keep going. They've been going off for the last 30 minutes. And like they gonna leave.
Let them wait.
Kelly gonna be looking for you, man.
I was waiting on AKOYE.
Tell it on me too.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I get out of here, man. Oh, I just hit the extra button.
I got you, man. I'm out.
Peace, man.
Yo.